Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Preparation Ape, your number one place for, I don't know, nothing really. You didn't have anything this time. I'm DKP.
Major Tom.
And of course, we're coming to you live from twitch.tv/ChainsawApe every single Thursday at 8:50 Central Standard Time.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes late.
How you doing, Major T?
Man, I'm good, baby.
I am as well.
I want to talk about one of the reasons I'm so fucking good.
We'll get there.
As soon as we get to our first, real slide. So.
And Mr. Kurtzen, I'll take a rain check on that, but I will redeem it.
Will redeem. Kurt, you should come hang out with us and come hang out with me in LA.
Yeah.
PSX.
I think he's in Oregon or Wyoming. That's a quick shoot down. California.
Yeah.
No problem.
So, how you been, DKP?
I've been pretty well. I gotta drive about 4 hours after this, out of town to go to a wedding.
That's exciting.
No, it's not.
But,
You
don't want to go to this wedding, is it?
No, it's not that. Well, it is a little bit. Here's the thing. The person who's getting married, I do care about them. I've known them for a long time.
Yeah.
Just no one else that's there I probably want to see or really care to hang out with. So, and I gotta go back down to my hometown for it. I'll be staying with A Canada, which is, be nice.
That's cool. Hi, A Canada, watching in the archive.
Yep, hello. I guess by the time you watch this, I'll be there. But yeah,
I'll be there.
Yeah. What's PSX? Well, we will get to that here in just a moment.
Yep.
Lord argues time is just like a number,
Time
man.
is just a number.
Oh man, we got the big Herms, big sperm in here.
Big sperm.
Yep. Well, it's supposed to be big. It's perm, but
it's big sperm. Oh, yeah.
It could be. You seen the size of that motherfucker?
He does have some big sperm.
Yes.
I haven't seen his kid yet, though, but my guess is huge.
Sperm. What's on the Resodox tonight?
Since I'm so hyped for Battlefield and Titanfall, I work at EA. Everything I say about them is my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. We're going to be showing off the 2 new trailers for that, talking about that. We're going to be talking about a couple of game announcements. Usually we have one big topic or discussion-based segment closer to the end of the show before we get into Win Stuff Money and Ask Apes Anything. But this time we have 2.
2 what?
2 big topics, 2 big segments.
Do we normally only have 1?
We normally only have 1 big. It's what do you think about sexism in gaming? Stuff like that. We don't have that topic, but we usually only have 1 of those closer to the end of the show. This time, or about the middle of the show. This time we're going to have 2. So
all right.
We may spend a couple of times, a couple of days, a couple of years on each slide. I've come here to make bad jokes and smoke cheap weed, and you busta can't stop me. Game announcement, Major Tom stole all the monies.
I mean, technically we could.
I did steal all the monies.
Mr. Kurtzen, can you put jams in timeout, please?
Whoa.
No one challenges my authority here.
Whoa.
But Mr. Kurtzen's not a mod. He can't do it.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I asked the wrong person.
By the way, fresh ass shades, Major Tom.
What's going on, Jams? Oh, thank you. Thanks, sweetie. Got some fun stuff to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
Talked about a lot of fun stuff before the podcast.
We did, yes. We got to talking about religion,
politics, and Palmer
Lucky. And we ended up being 20 minutes late because our discussions are always fun, though. Yeah. Zariella says, oh shit, sub babe, sweet ass shades. Appreciate that, Zariella.
How you doing?
No, but I can fuck Kurtzen. Lucky he's my boy.
I mean,
you can.
Yeah.
He might even let you.
I don't know if he digs.
My hope is that Kurt's taste is a little better than that, but
I like to think that it is.
I'm just fucking.
I don't eat no haggis dick, boy. All right,
haggis dick sounds like a real issue.
Yes, it does. It's truly the biggest problem.
It's facing the youth of our fucking nation. Poor kids and the haggis dick. Who are we to judge?
They never stood a chance.
Never stood a chance.
And I will tell you who I am to judge. DKP.
I'm Major Tom. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night.
Hey, you guys take it easy.
And we're out. And we're out.
We're off.
Dude, we should do a 30-second prep ape one day. So get super hyped. This is going to be the best episode ever. And just be I don't know.
If we were going to do it, we'd have to really commit to it, though, and not come back on afterwards.
Yeah.
for it to even work as a joke.
Well, now
And
that we know
I don't
want to.
I don't want to do that though.
Kurt's his best stream.
All right, 10 out of 10. All right, so
Would stream again.
do we have any more pleasantries before we move on? Before we hit the bricks?
Yeah, a couple of house cleaning items. We're on episode 49.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 50 is next week. And in the hopes that there is not some huge like NX announcement or tons of information coming out there, like an amazing news week, which I don't think there will be. Episode fucking 50 is next week. So episode 50, we're super excited about it. Two things, and Mr. Kurt is right on the money with one of them. The store is going to launch.
Well, I thought that was supposed to be unveiled next week.
That we're doing a store?
That it's launching.
Oh, yeah, it is.
But
it's going to launch.
We just, announced it now, though.
We're not announcing the store. People have known about the store for a hot minute.
Oh.
But people may not know what the items are on the store. Unless people have been watching Paint Spot Pixel, because Paint Spot Pixel's been building it out for us.
Well, I've already spoiled the fact that I, as a test purchase, bought the hoodie footy pink chainsaw pajama pants.
Whoa. That's exciting.
Yeah, no, I don't really think I don't even want it. I was just
there's some cool items.
There are some cool.
I'm interested to see. We can get analytics to see what people buy to determine
it'll probably be one item per month, but
yeah.
Hey man,
yeah,
still pull reports and it'll tell us that.
I'm excited. I know I want to get a couple of things. So yeah, that's going to launch during episode 50. We're going to post the link and how to access it and update the website and all that where you can get to it. And also for episode 50. We're going to watch episode 1 of Preparation 8.
Yep.
That's the topic.
Like a Mystery Science Theater sort of thing.
Yep. We're going to watch the episode, talk about how cool we are, how funny and handsome we were, how much we've changed in 50 episodes. So, yeah, that should be a lot of fun. I'm pretty excited.
I have not watched it, and I'm not going to. I expect that it's really shitty. I know for a fact
it'll probably be better than it is now, honestly. Do you remember the first episode of the podcast we did? We're like, this is fucking great. And then every episode after that sucked in comparison. We were talking about marshmallows being clouds.
Yeah. Well, I remember the first topic that you ever had.
We're not going to talk about that.
All right, fine. But
what are you doing even opening that door? Why are you even got to open that door?
Well, you're just keeping it open. Let me close it for you. All right, so, yeah, we'll see how it works. It might be a yearly tradition thing if it goes good. If not,
every 50 episodes.
It just might not be the one we'll just never visit that sort of
or
thing again.
For episode 100, will we watch episode 50 where we're watching ourselves watch episode 1?
That's a fucking terrible idea. That's a really bad idea.
And then we just keep doing that every year.
Until it just sounds like fucking white noise. Oof. Yeah.
Pretty good. Oh, that's...
Yep. All right. So I say that we go ahead and move on. Yep.
All right. Cool.
So first topic of the night, we go to CSA goes to
Hollywood, kind of.
Yeah. Neat.
So a quick topic. Pulled this from the PlayStation blog. Here we go again. For PlayStation Experience 2016, we're honored to be setting up shop in the fine city of Anaheim, California, this December 3rd and 4th. Inside the Anaheim Convention Center, attendees will get their hands on the PS4 Pro on 4K TVs, dozens of VR demos, the PlayStation Showcase, developer panels, merchandise, and a whole lot more. The show will kick off at 10 a.m. on Saturday with the PlayStation Showcase. They'll also have the Capcom Cup 2016, which was a pretty cool tournament that they did last year. So it'll be in Anaheim, California, right across the street from Disney World. I bought my tickets on launch day, which was on Tuesday, and I got some airplane tickets, and my wife is coming. So if you guys want to come out and meet Major Tom and meet Major Tom's wife, we will be there. So, something I want to kick it off to DKP for. What are your thoughts on this PlayStation experience? You went with me last year. Not a huge fan. Thought it was a good time. Pretty good time.
Yeah, it was all right. I don't think I'll be going again this year. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. As of a twist turn of events, as of a couple hours ago, I realized it's not going to be nearly as expensive as I thought it would be. And Major T already had everything kind of planned out, the place, the time, the taint.
Yeah.
So, yes, I will be attending, actually.
Boom!
Hooray! Along with VKP as well.
What?
Yes.
I get DKP and VKP for the weekend?
You get both. You get both, baby.
What?
Both the KPs.
And my wife will be there. Anaheim, California. December 3rd and 4th. Chainsaw Ape will be in at PlayStation Experience.
And Disneyland.
And we're going to Disneyland on Monday. So, because it's right across the street from Disneyland. So, if you guys want to join us, you want to come say hello, you want to come hang out, get your tickets. Get your tickets. $60 for early bird tickets, which is not bad.
For the whole weekend.
Yep, for PlayStation Experience specifically. Obviously, Disney World, flights, accommodations, all cost a shitload of money. So, yep. That's exciting.
Yes.
So yeah, just to go into it a little bit more, PlayStation Experience is basically, it's like E3, but only PlayStation. So they have a showcase event where they announce new games. Last year they showed off the first gameplay for Final Fantasy VII at the showcase. They fucked up a VR demo on stage. That was pretty funny. They announced Ni no Kuni 2 on stage, which was pretty cool. They showed off some new characters.
With Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, they showed off some new characters for Street Fighter V. They announced Paragon. So yeah, it was a pretty cool show. 100-foot robot golf was announced there. So yeah, it should be a good time. A lot of cool video game personalities there, including yours truly.
No, shucks.
So yeah, very, very excited. We're gonna have a good time. So if you guys get the opportunity, do some research. Maybe you guys can go as well.
Yeah, we'd love to see you there. But not really. Nobody comes.
Will they show off Halo 6?
Yeah.
If they did, it would be the surprise hit of the show.
I very seriously doubt that. Maybe at the Microsoft experience.
Yeah, maybe so.
You never know.
Which they should do those. You know, Xbox fannies need a place to wet their dicks out and wrestle.
Gotta get your dick wet somehow,
right?
And if PSX ain't your thing, then what do you got?
Last year we met Keiji Inafune, the creator of Mega Man.
Now I wish I would have taken that time to pop him in the balls and say, "How dare you!" and go pew 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 and walk away.
Pew pew pew. I met
jump on a trolley and just fucking maniacally laugh as it drives off.
I met a bunch of the guys that I like to follow, the kind of funny guys like Greg Miller and Colin Moriarty. I got to meet all those guys. They were cool. Got to meet the guys from Game Trailers at the time, but Easy Allies. Like, I got a picture with Brandon Jones.
Did we live stream No, we didn't. We did a really small shitty stream afterwards.
We did a post stream of the
Game Awards,
which the Game Awards are in LA that Friday night. So I haven't thought about it or looked into it, but that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing for us to look into, is try to go to the Game Awards.
Yeah, that would be something. Or we'll just bondanza at home and watch it there again like last time. That was a great time.
I met Neil Druckmann, the director and writer for Last of Us and Uncharted 2 and 4. And I met David Jaffe, the creator of God of War. Met a bunch of cool, like, high-level industry people.
Right.
So, yeah, it was a really awesome time.
Yeah,
What's up, Batman?
We'll be there this year. We'll, of course, come back and have a post-mortem.
Yeah.
So, apart from that, you got anything else on that?
Nope, I'm just super, super stoked. Hopefully we can see a couple of you guys over there.
2 months. Yeah. All right. So we got old Nidhogg.
So, back in the day when we first started streaming, we used to do these, like...
I've streamed this game more than once.
Back when we first started, we would do these, like, multiplayer streams where we would just play a bunch of multiplayer games, and Nidhogg was one of our most, like, popular, one of our most fun. It's like a fencing game / capture the flag type thing, where it's, like, first person to get to the other end of the map wins.
Yeah, extremely simple pixel art. As you can see at the top there beside the chat box, actually. That's kind of what it used to look like.
Yeah.
Did you put those there?
I did, of course.
Okay. Well, yeah. But, yes. So let's check out the trailer for Nidhogg 2. Don't know. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, have you?
I have watched it, yes. Okay. I'll save my
It's only 16 seconds, so... Wow, the art style has changed a fucking lot.
The art style is different. There is a significant amount, like, larger amount of stuff on screen than there was. It actually, like, the character models remind me a lot of Interplay characters.
Right.
Like Clay Fighter and stuff. That's it. 16 seconds long. So
what more do you need, though?
it's true.
I mean, the premise of the game is pretty fucking simple.
Yeah.
You know.
Batman says just played Nidhogg like 3 weeks ago. It's pretty fun. So remember my first Chainsaw Ape stream, Far Cry Primal. Cry every time.
Every time.
It was a good stream.
Well, we got Mr. Kurtzen. It's all.
Kurtzen, my first time was Red Dead Redemption. Marston's, I think.
Yeah, it was when I was doing Red Dead Redemption a long time ago.
When you do your John Marston impression, that you still bring it out every once in a while.
Every now and again, blow the dust off of it. You know.
Yeah.
What?
Just trying to see if you'll do it.
Just trying to see if I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll.
It's Marston. If I butcher it, will that make you want to do it better?
It almost did.
Okay.
But no, I'll do it.
Play the trailer again, just so we can go into a little bit more detail on it.
All right, fine. Yep.
So, if you notice, it still has the fencing. They've added axes. You got knives, bow and arrow. Still got the stomping mechanic.
Yep. It's so quickly.
Yep.
I mean, is there any more time we need to spend on this?
Not really. No, I'm just very excited about it.
Yeah, no.
Although
we have so little to go on, you know.
I don't really know how I feel about the art style, but yeah.
Yeah, I kind of almost. I'll have to see. Either it's going to make it to where the characters become charming and kind of iconic, or it's going to ruin it. Because I did kind of like the anonymous characters that they used to have, right? Yeah. But I'm down with this as well.
So before we move on, I do want to hit a post from IGN. They announced it. So Alex Osborne from IGN says, a sequel to Messhoff's sword-based fighting game Nidhogg has been announced and will be released sometime next year. According to the developer, Nidhogg 2 will be available for PC and maybe some other platforms, quote. Check out the debut trailer below, which we already did. The sequel boasts a number of improvements over the 2014 original, including completely overhauled character animations and environments, as well as brand new soundtrack. Features the works of Mux Mool, Dose 1, and Daedalus.
Oh boy.
Nidhogg 2 will include at least 10 different levels, as well as both local and online multiplayer, and a tournament mode. A single player tournament mode, that should be fun.
It beats the shit out of the original 4 levels we got.
It's true. Single player option will also be available, allowing players to face off against waves of AI opponents, with special challenge rounds peppered throughout.
Ooh.
So, yep.
All right.
Very exciting.
No release date, nothing like that?
Nope, just says 2017.
All right.
Did you know tumbleweeds are Nah.
Yeah.
I know I told you that. I registered to vote a few days ago. Yay! Those screams, man. Jesus.
Hey, man. Get out there and vote for DKP. You can write in on the ballot, you know.
Yeah.
So you know who to vote for. All right, baby. We got Titanfall 2.
So I don't think either of us have watched this trailer yet.
Nope.
So a few episodes ago, we talked about when all the single player information started coming out about it, how it was designed. Like the team would divide off, all the teams would divide off and work on things called action blocks that were like, find a fun way to use a mechanic between the main character and the Titan. So they designed like hundreds of them and only certain ones made the cut. So it's going to have a bunch of little cool set piece puzzle moments to do with the Titan. And then it's also, they said it's a heavy emphasis on buddy cop type stuff. So with that,
we're talking
those
like Lethal
things in
Weapon
mind,
or like 2 Eddie Murphys.
I'm going to say Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Oh.
2 Beverly Hills Cops.
Ooh.
Sup, you slipper bitches.
2 Cops, 2 Furious.
I Defy. Good to see you, baby. I'm excited to see you in California in December. I Defy lives around there, around Anaheim somewhere. I don't fucking know exactly where. But we're going to be getting together maybe for some drinks, for some panels. Going to be having a good time. You know what I really wish, though? I wish you were there with us.
Hey, man. Well, turns out I will be, motherfucker.
What? Yeah, DKP's coming to...
both VKP and I are going to be coming.
Yep.
So, yes. Let's see. I'm voting for KP Future. Us Marstons, our lives do matter. I reckon, Miss Farland. Or Miss McFarland. Hashtag DKP for world president.
Yeah.
That's a face a Marston could vote for. All right. So we got Titanfall 2.
Yep. Let's check it out.
Yes, let's do it. I'm getting triggered, Major T.
A lot of smoke effects.
Live action.
What are you talking about? This trailer is the bomb.
Well, no. Get the fuck
Of
out
all
of here.
the things I've seen on the battlefields of the frontier, the pilot is the true dominant force.
Best news ever. Damn right.
Fast and agile. Graceful, yet devastating. Perceptive. Resourceful.
That guy doing VO kind of
And
reminds me of
relentless.
Robert Atkin Downs, who played
pilot
Kaz
sees
in
the world
Metal Gear
differently.
Solid 5.
Yeah. I met the guys who did the first
Sheer walls
Titanfall
become flanking
trailer that was live
Yeah.
action for part 1. My guess is they did this one too, because it looks very
Oh
similar.
yeah. By the way, I got
Pilots
my.
fight differently.
Speaking of, I don't care. I don't know if anyone gives a shit about the VO
Experienced in
coming up here.
deception.
It's about
and
what you
maneuver.
see. But I got my
Overwhelming
Bioware
odds
submission,
shift in
Cool.
their favor.
and BKP put in one as well. It's actually pretty good. I filmed
What
a
truly
video with her a long
separates
time
the
ago.
pilot from all the grunts and
One where
machines
Zach
of the
tucks his penis
battlefield
between his legs, remember that one?
is the
And
bond
she was just
between
a terrible
pilot
actress, so
and
I
a
wasn't
Titan.
expecting good, voiceover. She was actually pretty good at it. So, yeah.
He looks kind of like Isaac Clarke.
What, the welding suit?
Yeah.
That apparently doubles as a security suit.
When linked to a Titan
When I come back
pilot
from
can
Vegas, I'm
only
gonna buy
be
my
stopped
tickets.
by
Should probably just
overwhelming
buy them now. They're
force
$60, the early
or
ones.
an equal.
Yep.
If you're in Vegas right now, just sit out one craps game, and by the time you're done, you've probably saved your
Frontier
money.
has been the only home I've ever known. For
You should create your
years,
PSN ID as
our
well
lands have
before
been
you do that,
destroyed by the
before you get the
IMC,
tickets. Because if
forcefully taking
you
our resources,
put your PSN ID in,
polluting
you'll
and
get a bunch of
destroying
extra
our
stuff.
planets, and killing us off if we try to resist.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that's Robert.
Despite
Atkin.
recent victories at Demeter and beyond, we have a long way to go before the IMC is defeated.
I'm gonna look it up on my phone here.
Now, I serve as a rifleman in the militia, fighting to free the frontier. I'm a long way from becoming a pilot. But when that day comes, I hope I can live up to the honor.
Yeah. What do you think?
There's a new Twitch layout.
Yeah, I did. Is there?
Y'all
I
like the
didn't know
new
that.
Twitch layout? Kind of tripped me out earlier.
I have yet to see it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet either. We only see it from the XSplit side. I haven't really noticed anything from us, is Kurt.
Let's see. I don't see him.
I don't know if he would
credited
have
Titanfall
like
2.
an IMDb credit because this is just a trailer.
Right, but I assume that's a voice from the game. Maybe not. Oh well. But yeah, you know what I would prefer them to do with this? Make it less serious.
Yeah,
I
I thought it would be honestly.
Well, yeah, because they had like dinosaurs and shit in it, right? And I was thinking like, he's like the things I've seen on the battlefield and all this. And while we're seeing a dude like jetpack around and stuff, it's like, just even that to me is ridiculous. Like you'd be like, you wouldn't believe the things that I've seen. Well, yeah, you're in a jetpack. I probably wouldn't believe half the shit. Like it's kind of hard for me to wrap my head around this. All of it would be incredible, but no, I don't really give a shit about that. Game's probably gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I would hope. But I really wish they would have. Didn't you say that there was gonna be like buddy cop elements?
Yeah, there are. That's
So,
even
yeah.
I even prerequisited the trailer with that.
I know that's what I'm
but
saying.
but I hadn't seen the trailer,
I don't.
so I didn't
yeah,
know what
but
it was
I
gonna be
didn't
like.
get any of that from.
Yep,
from
I didn't
you.
either.
Well,
Not that it was necessarily a bad trailer. It just
No.
wasn't what I was hoping for.
I don't know what I was hoping for, but it wasn't that super serious. Like, but now things are.
be a pilot.
Things are in my court. Night court. Judge Judy's court no longer exist.
Batman says, yeah, it started rolling out today. I'll have to check it out when I get home.
Yeah.
Kurt says, I'm triggered that DKP and Major T started talking mid-trailer.
Welcome to Prep 8, baby.
James says, so I have a dog now. Adopted it from my mom's from Spain, and she didn't want her, so puppy it is.
No.
Well, congratulations.
What sort of dog is it?
Have fun picking up shit for the next 3 months.
Or if you're in my court, like, you got really
the rest
shitty
of-
dogs
For
the rest of their
life.
lives.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And this comes out when?
The 28th, 1 week, October 28th. So we're less than a month away. It's 1 week after Battlefield 1.
Why the fuck are they releasing this so soon?
I don't know.
That seems like a terrible idea.
No comment.
All right.
I work at EA. My opinions are my own. They don't reflect the company. Best news I've heard all day, fella. Super excited to see you guys in person. Hells yeah, baby!
But yeah, that seems like a horrible idea. Like, don't put any more games in October. Delay Titanfall. I don't care. Like,
dude, I had to. So Elizabeth, my wife, she put me on a budget recently.
I was there when you guys were arguing it over. It was funny.
Very.
It was like she was
to
dictating
her
your
credit,
allowance.
she's done an amazing job, and I'm very proud of her. And I have gotten significantly more used to it than I was. But I have to make sacrifices now, like for every which that's the purpose of a budget. You got to make sacrifices. You can't just go spending crazy.
Sure.
But this particular set of 2 weeks is so payday is tomorrow. So we budgeted out from payday to payday. Here's how much I have per payday. This particular 2 weeks: Mafia 3, Gears 4, PlayStation VR, and every game that's on PlayStation VR. And Rise of the Tomb Raider. Those are the ones that's I have to play these games.
So those are the ones you're buying?
No, I can't get them.
Oh, I was about to say,
have to make sacrifices.
I thought you were being like, these are the only ones I can get.
Oh,
PSVR, every game on. I was like,
no,
oh,
those
wow.
are, so I'm for sure getting
My
Mafia.
loins hurt for you.
I'm for sure getting Mafia. I'm for sure
Okay.
getting Gears. And I have 4 games for PSVR already pre-ordered and paid off. So I'm still pretty good. I'm getting Batman VR.
But you're not getting the PSVR though.
No, I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's already paid off too. But I'm getting Batman VR, Riggs, and PlayStation VR Worlds, which is the one that it comes with. The bundle comes with.
I'm sure it's horrible.
But E-Valkyrie.
It'll be like what? Wii U Land?
What's up, Morning Shark?
Hello.
E-Valkyrie and 15 other games. I won't be able to get those at first. So I'm also skipping out on Rise of the Tomb Raider, which sucks because I was like,
it doesn't suck, and I'll tell you why.
no,
you own the console.
yeah, but that's why it sucks. Is
Right.
because I have had a full year to be able to play it, and I've specifically been waiting for the PlayStation 4 release.
Right.
And now it's finally coming out. But I want to play Gears and Mafia and PlayStation VR just a little bit more.
Then that doesn't suck. Then
Yeah,
that's on you.
it is on me. I'm just saying it sucks. It can still be on me and suck.
I just don't.
The
think
decisions
it
you
sucks.
make suck.
Well, yeah.
You gotta go to some wedding this weekend.
Right.
That sucks.
But that's why I'm the authority on this. I know when something sucks.
So do I, and I'm the one who just said it sucked.
I'm just saying, I don't think it does. Oh, man. Had to put off Rise of the Tomb Raider for this PSVR.
I'm the authority on this. And there's PlayStation. There's actually PlayStation VR stuff in Rise of the Tomb Raider. There's a Gone Home, Explore the Mansion style mode in Tomb Raider, where you find out that Lara Croft's gay. I don't know if it's this. Major T, welcome to my world.
They're
Kids
like,
are bitch,
man,
but
that
they are
Last
cute."
Effect DLC works so well. We're gonna have to do it again.
Best decision you made going to Anaheim, California. Major T is having this dilemma. I can get this game, but my baby won't have diapers. Hey, honey, do we still get the newspaper? Yeah, all right. Gonna get some games. Oh, my kid. That's what's cool about our budget. Everything that's important, taken care of, paid for, and this is even saving. So we're in a good spot. We're doing well. I'm really proud of her. She's done a great job.
Well, that's why you're allowing me to freely stay at your accommodations in California.
Yeah, absolutely.
Since you already had 2 bedrooms.
Yep. All this.
All I had to do was pay for plane
We already
tickets.
got our plane tickets. We already have figured out where we're going to stay.
Yeah.
We've gotten all that figured out, planned it out, budgeted out. That's all thanks to my wife. Because if not, I'd be like, dude, I don't know how we're going to afford all this shit. So, kudos to Minor Tom, whatever my
Minor
wife's
Tom?
name is.
Mrs. Tom? I don't know.
Mrs. Tom.
You know how Angry Tomato does it. So right now he's going to school full time, and his wife bring home bacon and all that.
The bread, the bacon, the breaking.
So the way they do it is he gets a video game, and he can't get another one until he beats it.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you staying? We're going to do a home away house or an Airbnb. kind of
vacation home. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's actually surprisingly much cheaper than getting a hotel.
wow. And there's a balcony so we can go out and smoke cigarettes on it.
Yeah.
Because if you want one of those in a hotel, it's the ultra suite. It's
Yeah.
$700 a night. Yeah. And nope. And on that note,
Moving on
to a BF1.
Dirty Deets. Okay, so new Battlefield 1 trailer came out this week. We're going to be watching that here in a second. But I wanted to go over some of these details that came out recently. This is from Eddie McCock. From Eddie McCuck. McCuck.
Oh, what a poor fella. His name is McCuck.
from GameSpot. He
They
says,
would hire someone named
quote,
McCuck.
following the release of Battlefield 1's first campaign trailer earlier this week, DICE has now provided more details on the World War I shooter single-player
Beeful
mode.
Food One.
The developer has updated the game's website with official descriptions for its 5 main war stories. The stories are called Friends in High Places, Nothing is Written, Through Mud and Blood, Avanti Savoia, and The Runner, and all of them sound quite different. For example, in Friends in High Places, you play as a British pilot in missions that include intense dogfights, unexpected encounters, and a story of friendship.
Unexpected encounters.
The Nothing is Written chapter is set in the deserts of the Middle East, putting you into the shoes of a Bedouin warrior who fights alongside the legendary Lawrence of Arabia. And Through Blood and Mud, Mud and Blood, a slice of which is included with the Origin Access trial, you're a member of a tank crew preparing for an assault on Cambrai, France.
Mr. Good says, through mud and blood, the horrors of anal gone wrong.
The Avanti Soviet chapter
Awful.
takes players to the snow-capped Alps during a battle between Italy and the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Finally, the runner sees players taking on the role of an Anzac runner who must deliver life-or-death messages on the battlefield near the Gallipoli landing site. I probably mispronounced
I know where that's
every
at.
fucking
The
word.
Gallipoli landing
You can
site.
see official descriptions for Battlefield 1's 5 stories written below, as written by DICE. 5 main war stories, but that doesn't necessarily mean there are only 5 missions. Battlefield 1 launches on October 21st, but you can play a portion of the game as early as October 13th if you're an EA Access /Origin member. Remember, I work at EA. That quote that I was reading was not me. That was from GameSpot. So if you are interested in the game, check it out. If you're not, then don't.
You said it once. You're safe. You're
I
safe
know,
here.
but I straight up said, I straight up advertised for us. I straight up said, hold on, let me read
Well, but
it
it's
again.
in the thing, though.
Yeah, that's why I wanted a caveat. I'm
okay.
reading this thing.
I see what you mean.
You can play it as early as October 13th. That sounds like I work for EA, and I'm like, oh.
No, that was Mr. McCuck.
Yep, McCuck from GameSpot. Thanks, Mr. McCuck. Doing our job for us.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else. We've talked about BF1. Excited. I'll play it.
Well, let's watch the trailer.
All right, fucking let's. Who the fuck from Arabia names some Lawrence anyways?
Hi, I'm Lawrence.
We shall call it.
I'm from Delaware.
I know the story of Lawrence from Arabia, but I like the fan fiction instead.
They push.
This baby was born under the stars. He will lead
Every
us
once
to
in a while,
civilization.
hard enough that the light breaks.
We
through
call
the
him
clouds,
Lawrence.
and a world beyond the war glimmers.
He wasn't from Arabia, says Gertson.
Behind every
So I
gunsight
think that's
is a
supposed to
human
line
being.
up for us,
We are
right?
those
Like one of
people.
those
Promise
ASCII
me that you'll
art.
get me back in one piece.
But it's all fucked up.
promise.
Yeah.
CEA in there though.
I wonder if it shows up
You
on
may
our
find you're
chat.
outborn alone. You know that.
See? It does not.
If
It might look
history
better in the
only
actual
remembers
Twitch chat,
one in
but
1,000 of us,
we can't
then that
see that.
future
It's
will
Mario
be
taking
filled
a
with
shit.
stories of who we
Oh,
were
yeah.
and what we did. But until
Good on
that
you.
day comes, we will stand. We will
I hope I
look
get to wear that
death
cool
in
hat.
the eye, and
Yeah, you think so?
we'll fight.
Hey, you gotta shit somewhere, you know?
Dude, he's got those pipes and stuff.
I hear it's well, he has to slide down.
Have you watched this trailer yet?
I have, yeah.
I love the way they use the Battlefield thing,
Right.
where there's like do-do-do-do-do-do. I love the way they use that with the orchestra.
I didn't even notice that the first time.
Listen for it again.
Yeah. What's up, TB Poker?
What's up,
And,
baby?
I also like tits.
Bo-do-bo-bo-do-bo.
I think biologically you're supposed to. All right. And apparently,
the new Xbox One S.
oh man, it's coming to Xbox One. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So
October
yeah.
21st.
See, the cool thing about any Battlefield trailers that I will say though, it looks kind of too good to be true.
Yeah.
That fucking Frostbite engine is that good though.
Yeah. It looks super, super, super pretty.
So yeah, I mean, I don't have anything else. We've talked about Battlefield. General stance on it as far as me is excited. We'll
No,
play
we're both super hyped for it.
it. So yeah,
I'm more hyped for the campaign after having watched that, though.
yeah. I mean, I never fucking hated the other campaigns.
Yeah.
They're not anything I remembered, and I'm not wooed by them, but this is the first time we ever got something in World War I, really.
Jim
Like,
says,
to
the
this-
more I
to
see
this matter,
Battlefield
so.
1, the more I'm close to giving it a pass.
James, you're gonna buy it.
Like,
I
I'm
know
not
you
gonna
will.
play this.
All right.
Honestly, I'd probably want to rent the game than buy the collectors. Yeah, I really want to get the collector's edition. Got that dude with the gun.
Oh man, you're saying it comes with the statue of the man with a gun?
Yep.
That's incredible.
Right?
I've never seen a collector's edition like that.
Yeah, well, you have now, motherfucker.
All right, let's move on to news nobody cares about.
Whoa!
Yeah? What?
Whoa! Beyond
What?
Good and Evil. So, Michel Ancel, the creator of gems such as Rayman, works at Ubisoft.
All right.
Ubisoft. Ubisoft if you're French, Ubisoft if you're not. Found that out. Did you know that? Like, people from the company both pronounce it both ways. I always wondered how to pronounce it. Ubisoft or Ubisoft. Anyway, so Michel Ancel has been teasing Beyond Good and Evil for like 10 fucking years now. Beyond Good and Evil 1 was on Xbox, the original Xbox, GameCube, and PS2. It was a Zelda-like or a Zelda clone where you play as a girl who's a photographer on a planet and the world is being overrun by all these like bug machine things.
Yeah, I
and
must
she
have
saves
missed something on it because when I played, I could not get into it. There's a lot of photography you had to do.
At the beginning, yeah, it's trying to
right.
teach you a lot of the photography stuff. It's the same sort of thing as like, and I think you've talked about it before with Metroid Prime. I have to scan a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of the game, you're like building out this journal. But as time goes on and you have built out the majority of the journal, you're just kind of playing through it like a Zelda game.
All right, fair enough.
TP Progress says the folks at Ubisoft are actually very cool. Yeah, man, I love Ubisoft. So,
and apparently, the next
we're going to talk
Assassin's
about
Creed
them.
is going to be rated NC-17 for violent sexual French content.
Ooh,
As long as there's some scat in there, I'll be happy.
all in dual time when they drop in price.
So yeah, this is like a major cult hit.
Yeah,
and it's been teased for years.
Yep.
The sequel to it.
so there have been rumors about it coming, like being an NX game. So like Nintendo paying for the production or paying for the
Kind of like they did
development
with
costs.
Bayonetta 2.
Exactly. Recently, starting yesterday, actually, Michel Ancel on his Instagram has started tweeting out concept art from the game. So this picture here was the first picture that was tweeted out or Instagrammed out, whatever you call it. And that
Revealed.
little pig.
There we go.
So if the main character you play is Jade in the first game, but her friend, her companion, is a pig named Paige, and the pig is a mechanic. So if you look at this picture, it looks like a baby pig with a mechanic. So my guess is that like this is the guy who raised Paige.
Right. So they're not teasing it's going to be a prequel, are they? Or which might have
They haven't really teased
sort of
anything.
things in
It's
it.
just they've been shooting out this concept art. So Beyond Good and Evil is backwards compatible, and the game was a gold a few weeks ago for those Xbox peeps. It sure was. So yeah, and plus it's like really cheap if you want to get the digital version. If you didn't catch it during Games for Gold, it's like $10, I think, and it is backwards compatible. So you guys should check it out.
Yeah.
Give it another try.
So
Maybe we'll do it for one of our streams.
but there's still been no official announcement that this
No
is-
official announcement whatsoever. Like even his tweets don't say Beyond Good and Evil.
What a
So
cryptic
people
douche.
are just connecting them. So like, or I'm sorry, Instagram's like, look, this
Yeah, I
is
see it.
this picture here somewhere in System 4. Thanks Ubisoft for making this possible. Is all it says, and it's just this concept art. So I'm going to read an article real quick from ScreenRant.com. Oops, I just
Curtin says it kind of looks like Solid Snake.
yeah, it kind of does.
More like
actually.
Big Boss, but
I
who's
like
counting,
his,
right?
I like his mustache. This is by Lena Wilson. She says, few video game fans know the meaning of patience as well as those who adore Beyond Good and Evil 2, a 2003 release by Ubisoft that won the GDC Award for Game of the Year. The action-adventure epic became a hit for all its stunning graphics and thoughtful characters, and creator Michel Ancel stated that he would love to direct a follow-up. 13 years after the original game's release, BG&E fans are still waiting for this sequel. As the wait for BG&E 2 stretches on, players of the franchise are content to speculate about all aspects of the unreleased game. How will it continue the original story? Does Jade's new look point toward a more muted overall color palette? Is it really only going to be available for NX? Now Michel Ancel has only fueled the flames of conjecture when he uploaded what appears to be new concept art for the sequel onto Instagram. The illustrations feature a burly bearded man at work on some mechanical project, as a pig humanoid happily perched upon his shoulder gazes fondly at a spherical orange and white robot. Of course, the young pig creature immediately brings Beyond Good and Evil's Uncle Paige to mind. Paige, who raised protagonist Jade as his own, is a boar human creature who specializes in mechanics. There are a lot of reasons to get excited about this, despite Ansel's ever-cryptic attitude. For one, the creator has stated multiple times that the only reason the game has taken so long is because he was simultaneously developing Rayman Legends. For another, BG&E producer, Yves Guillemot, stated, that's the president of Ubisoft, we've talked about him quite a bit, and we'll talk about him some more, that the sequel is definitely still happening. This Instagram post offers more than meets the eye. The picture's caption, which ends with, "Thanks Ubisoft for making this possible," is what really convinces us that this is, in fact, beyond
said it's happening.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, Mr. Batman, from the words of Yves Guillemot himself, it's happening. So there you go. Let's see. We do have a question real quick. It's actually directed at Mr. Kurtzman, but if you want to give it a stab, would you fuck Whoopi Goldberg given the chance?
Ooh. If given the chance, no. I'd fuck that shit out of Whoopi, no charges, James. I'll be so hyped this indicates they're working on this game.
What about you?
What's that, Paints? Would I fuck Whoopi Goldberg?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
No offense, Whoopi. I loved you jumping jack.
I thought you were great in Sister Act.
But your opinions on The View are incredible.
I just don't want to fuck you, like, you know?
Whoever makes this game happen is who I'm voting for. Yves Guillemot.
You can write his. Wow. You could. Just do it anyways.
So we're going to continue this Ubisoft talk by going into the next slide.
Yep.
No Ass Creed or Far Cry until 2018. So this comes by way of Joe Screbbles from IGN.
Or 15.
What's up, Onken?
Scrapples.
I haven't seen you in a hot minute. It's good to see you, baby. When it was confirmed that there will be no Assassin's Creed games in 2016, most assumed that the series would take a single year off. This may end up not being the case, and Far Cry may also be going away for longer than expected. Speaking to IGN, Ubisoft VP of Editorial, Tommy Francois, explained that both Assassin's Creed and Far Cry...
Tommy Francois.
Were Far Cry and Assassin's Creed were undergoing close scrutiny during development, with a very particular goal in mind. I'll tell you what, Francois said. Quote, "We believe alpha for these games needs to be 1 year before released. We're trying to achieve that." That's super fucking blunt. That's what he says. Super fucking blunt. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this. This is the goal we're going for. Alpha 1 year before. More quality, more polish. So they haven't hit alpha yet. And they said the games will come out 1 year after alpha. That's their goal anyway. So if this means biting the bullet and not having an Assassin's Creed game or Far Cry in 2017, fuck it. Unquote.
Man.
When questioned about the potential alpha, Francois made clear that he doesn't necessarily mean a public trial, which Ubisoft recently used with
Francois 2016, baby.
But the sense of having a very clearly created game, but with the time and willingness to make changes. Quote, this is from Francois, alpha is just saying getting stuff done, but leaving time for polish and innovation. I mean it from that perspective. We still need to have an alpha, and we need to have it available as early as we possibly can. Because the more time we have for this, the more polish we have. The more time we can change, refine, swap systems. You can't just take shortcuts. Previous rumors, which correctly outed Watch Dogs 2, have indicated that the next Assassin's Creed game will be subtitled Empire and will be set in Egypt.
All right.
Some have questioned whether taking a break from the franchise is to ease consumers' overexposure, leading to a drop in sales, something Francois refutes. Quote, "No! Far Cry's only been going up in sales, so that's not true. We sometimes try to do too much. I'm actually super happy. I know it's perceived like a marketing decision, and even if it is perceived that way, it's actually okay. People are allowed to perceive it like that, and if it's a break in the brand and that we're doing it for that, I have no quarrels. I just want people to fall in love when people try the next iteration of one of these two brands."
So, yeah, I think that's fantastic. I would really like for the next Far Cry, whenever it's revealed, probably closer to 2018, to look like next generation. The last three that have come out have been in very quick succession to another, especially Far Cry 4 and Primal.
Yeah.
And visually, they haven't really made that big leap.
The environments look great. Like, you remember in Far Cry Primal when it would show the brush,
yep,
and like the wind would blow in it and stuff like that. All that stuff looked great, but the character models just didn't look as good as I would hope. I don't think they're bad looking games, but they could be better looking. I know the fire effects in Primal were a little off at times.
Yeah. Let's see. I hope Assassin's Creed goes to a year.
Goes to a year.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, take your time, man. Take your time on all this stuff. I'm okay not having it for a while. I always tell myself that it's only gay if you make eye contact. At least that's how I cope with things.
Well, however you get through, man. Unkid says, that's dangerous, though. I played the For Honor Alpha, and it totally turned me off from the game as the control playstyle was way too complicated. Well, I don't think they're necessarily talking about having a public alpha.
Yeah.
Just like internal alpha. You know, have people doing playtesting and then seeing what's wrong and having more than enough time to fix it.
Little Tortilla Mask says, how's everyone? We good, baby. Me and DKP's going to PSX this year, so we're super excited.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was hard at all at Onken. It took me about 30 minutes to get used to. It was not hard, just awkward for me. All I gotta say is Far Cry Primal. Far Cry Primal's great. And it got Mr. Kurtzen in here, so.
Well, according to Mr. Kurtzen, reputable source on, it says, it's only gay if you kiss, or it's only gay if your balls touch.
Cool.
How would that happen? You have to be scissoring, like, as a man?
I don't know.
Well, if you can draw us, if you can draw us a crude diagram,
you
that'd be great.
You have to draw a diagram.
We'll pull it up here.
True.
I'll be right
Says
back.
Tortilla Boy. I'll read this quote one more time, and then we'll hit a couple more comments, and then we'll move on. Instead, Francois insists that the decision is a creative one, going so far as to say that the company is experimenting with entirely new structures for Assassin's Creed, possibly breaking from the Ubisoft open-world formula of tower climbing and objectives peppering used consistently over the last few years, and which Watch Dogs 2 will also step away from. I do think we need to break that formula. This year we've given Far Cry and Assassin some time to decant, innovate, and polish. The objective behind that is exactly that. You'd be surprised, there are so many prototypes of alternatives. It's always the same thing, the player is king, so we playtest it, and people are just like, what the fuck? And we're like, oh no! We just spent a year prototyping this new macro structure for an Assassin's Creed, or other type of open world game, and people are telling us it's shit. Which brings us right back to those year-early alphas. When feedback like that comes in, Ubisoft now wants to have room to make real changes in pursuit of something better. That's it.
Well, good on them.
Yeah, I think so too. Take your time, get it right. I think both... Far Cry is amazing. I would actually be completely fine with the same formula for Far Cry coming out once a year.
And there's one thing. There's one thing I have
games.
not said in a long time, which is, you know, we're way overdue for another Far Cry.
We just got one in February.
Right, I have not said that. So, yeah, exactly. Even if it's not hurting sales yet, if you keep going, it inevitably will. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
So, this is a surefire way to make it.
I think the story in 3 and 4 were incredibly good for first-person shooter games like that. So
you didn't think Primal had a great story?
No.
You didn't.
Primal did not have a great story.
You didn't give
the
a shit
gameplay
about
was
caveman
top-notch.
problems?
No. I didn't give a shit about caveman.
See, I tried to pick it up again like 2 weeks ago, just like in my free time, and I was like, I don't give a fuck about the Wulong or whoever it is. Like, it's just caveman problems suck. They're fucking boring.
Yeah.
There's no depth to caveman characters. Shocker, I know, right? But yeah, well, I'm excited to see where they go next with it. We're gonna move on, Ewan?
I'm good to move on. More Ubisoft stuff. So.
This is a little bit different in pace, tone.
Ubisoft versus Vivendi. So, this is something, I think we've talked about it 3 times now on Preparation Ape. And I came across this article.
Shit keeps heating up here, man.
Well, I came across this article and I was like, do I want to talk about this again? And I'm like, you know what? We've talked about it on Prep Ape for every single time something comes out about it. So we're going to keep this train going. We're going to see how this story plays out over the next couple of years. And I'm going to do like a reminder, an update on where the Ubisoft Vivendi battle is. So they actually had a shareholders meeting yesterday, maybe today. Either yesterday.
Doesn't matter.
It does
Recently.
not really matter. It might have been today. Yes, it was today. Okay. This is Polygon. Brian Crescente.
They would hire someone
Ubisoft
named
survived
Brian
stakeholder
Crescente.
meeting, prepares for hostile takeover. Ubisoft today met the enemy. By the way, this is kind of a long article, so we'll just kind of do like we did with the last one. Take some breaks, talk about it a little bit. Ubisoft today met the enemy and survived to fight another day, but company insiders feel that the war for control of the creators of games like Assassin's Creed, The Division, and Rayman has just begun. The company's annual stakeholder meeting kicked off at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time with expectations that multimedia conglomerate Vivendi, which has been growing increasingly bold in its desire to wrest control of the company away from its founders, might attempt a corporate coup. At stake was on one hand Vivendi's desire to gain some control over the operations and directions of Ubisoft, and on the other, the publisher's long-standing desire to remain independent. Vivendi has expressed publicly its desire to get its own members on the board and gain some say in the way the company is run, but it didn't propose any resolutions before or during the meeting. Instead, Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot and Ubisoft Motion Picture CEO Gerard Guillemot were both re-elected to the board, and 2 new members were elected. The 2 new members replaced one outgoing member and added another independent member to the board. The increase to 10 members shifted the makeup of the board to 5 founding members and 5 independent members. Vivendi has a history of wrestling control away from company founders through creeping control, a method that has Vivendi gaining influence through board members, instead of the more direct, more expensive method of a hostile takeover. So they just get enough stock to get into the board meeting slowly but surely, and then just keep creeping people in until they go, hey, look, we have the majority. We own the company. Bye, president. And they just kick the president out.
So what other companies have they done this to?
They did it to, surprisingly, Activision a long time ago. And then Activision bought themselves back.
All right, so something was shitty enough to they're
yeah,
we need out.
If you remember when Activision was really shitty about 10 years ago, that was when they were under...
Was that when Bobby Kotick was still, super heavy in what he was doing?
Maybe.
All right.
They recently did it with Gameloft, which is that mobile company that, sells 90% of the games that people are playing on mobile. Let's hit a couple of comments, then we'll come back in. Man, first one came in problems are the real struggle. I am sworn to follow my ass creed, says Pepiv. Kurt says, the hippie cavemen, the first fire bitches of the savages, Far Cry Primal. Ooh, Ubisoft almost got bought. They sure did. They're pulling a turkey.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Ubisoft just kick Vivendi out? Because they're slowly buying stock. Ubisoft has been countering by buying more stock as well. So Yves Guillemot and the Guillemot family are buying a bunch more. But it's so far it hasn't been enough. Vivendi is still, I think they own 28% of the company right now, and about 6 months ago it was 10%.
Holy
so
shit.
They're slowly working their way up. So people thought today they were going to be we're doing this, we're taking over, and instead they re-elected the Guillemots as presidents, which is great. Good news if you want Ubisoft to continue doing what they're doing, which I do.
Yes. Adify says he used to beta test games, or he used to be a beta, and tested games for Vivendi. Well, any insight on that?
I'm sorry to hear that.
Did they treat you horribly? Did they put it in? Did they make you put it in?
While you're answering that question, read some more comments. Although Vivendi didn't manage to get its own people on the board during the meeting, that doesn't mean Ubisoft's bid to remain independent and free of Vivendi control has been accomplished. It is likely, though, that Vivendi's methods will have to change. That's because the next chance to vote in or out members of the board isn't until the next general stockholders meeting in a year. While Vivendi could try and win over some influence through standing members of the board, it's more likely, according to company insiders, that Vivendi will now try the more direct route of a hostile takeover, which means buying a large amount of shares, enough to where they own the company.
Nice facility, shitty games. And I also got Skirtson, quite correct here. I don't know who Vivendi is, but they sound like cunts.
Yep.
They certainly do.
Yep.
Uncle says, show us on the dollar where Vivendi touched you. He's showing you their pocketbook.
Publicly, a Ubisoft spokesperson focused on what they consider to be today's good news, telling Polygon the following, quote, today during our annual general meeting, Ubisoft stakeholders expressed massive support for Ubisoft's strategy and management. We remain focused on the execution of our strategic roadmap, which has already proven successful and which we are confident will continue to deliver great results and value for all of Ubisoft stakeholders. We're also very happy to welcome 2 new independent directors, Frederick Dame and Florence Navenair, who will bring their expertise and know-how to Ubisoft's board. Earlier this month, the Guillemot brothers, a company made up of 5 brothers who founded Ubisoft, agreed to purchase a maximum of 4,008,000 shares of Ubisoft, or about 3.5% of the company.
Shit.
That is on top of the 9% of the company the family already owned and 15% of the voting rights, according to Bloomberg Report. Any other comments before I move on?
You said Adify tested Jason Bourne games?
And the Bruce Lee game.
Yeah. And also, apparently Universal NBC owns Vivendi.
Yeah. If I was the president of Ubisoft and Vivendi was about to take over, I'd crash the company into the ground. Scorched earth. Oof.
Yeah, that makes you wonder,
we just talked about Beyond Good and Evil 2 and Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, which is just these series have potential to be insanely good. Do not do this to us, Vivendi. Right
You know-
when things are going so well.
I wouldn't want anyone to have to suffer that. What I went through.
My complete
With
perception. Sorry, go ahead.
Silent Hills and
Yeah.
yeah, just
Like-
all those things that you're like, oh, they're finally coming
Yeah.
in a good way, and then it's just
Yep.
Yep.
And that's my concern. and
would
that's-
not wish that upon my worst.
That's my
enemies.
perception is that if Vivendi takes ownership of this, they can force whatever they want. They can say
Oh,
this
yeah.
game has to be out at this point. They can say this game has to have this feature or this
They're not
element
gonna
or this
come-
type of
they're not-
microtransaction.
Yeah, they're not
or
going to
this
come
type
in
of-
and go, all right, well, we actually just wanted to take over, and you guys are just doing such a great job as is that you just keep going. We just wanted to kind of have more involvement.
We just wanted to own
but
it.
more in a hands-off approach.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way that's going to be the case.
Nope.
Like this is going to be bad for
For all of
everybody.
us, yeah.
Like as far as as consumers of these games,
Yeah.
That's not fucking good.
We'll finish it out here. Just got a couple more things to read. Vivendi, meanwhile, has a 23% stake in the company. So they own more than the presidents of the company. They have 23. The Guillemots have 15%. Under French law, the amount of stock a person or company can hold is capped at 30%. If a person passes the 30% mark, they are obliged to launch a public offer on the company. This summer, Vivendi wrestled Gameloft from the Guillemot family after first buying up 29% of the shares. About a year ago, Vivendi started investing in Ubisoft shares, initially saying it was only interested in the company as a financial investment. Shortly after the early burst of investment, Vivendi said it was interested in having more say in the control of the company and wanted a seat on the board. Ubisoft has been courting help in case Vivendi seeks to buy out the company. The government of Quebec has already offered assistance after informal inquiry from Ubisoft. No formal request has yet been made, though. Ubisoft employs about 2,700 people in Quebec and Montreal.
Let's see. We got a couple comments here. I fucking love you guys, you cunting bastards. I'll back at
thank
you,
you.
Violet Lightwave.
Appreciate that.
And Dirty Up says I'm literally nutting over Mafia 3.
Oh
we'll get
my
there
god, I
2
can't
seconds.
wait.
But yeah, this is it's really weird when you see something that's like egregious, like shitty happening, even to the point where the Quebec's government is like, "Hey, we'll do what we can to help you, man."
Yeah.
And it's just really weird to just see that happening, like with no recourse, you know. And on this note, remember what Kurtzman was saying, scorched earth policy, like, well, if you're gonna take over, I'm gonna blow this bitch up. That's probably what they already intend to do, to some degree. So I'm pretty sure that'd be just fine for them. Because imagine this, like, even if current development, right, on Assassin's Creed and shit just stopped, who gives a shit? They could easily just repurpose those IPs into mobile games and probably triple their money.
Yeah.
Or pachinko machines, like Konami did.
Ugh.
You know? It's for a company that just buys out other ones that has no artistic integrity, right? Which this is very much a company that does that, right? They're not the producers of the games. You know, yeah, there's no losing side to this. They're more than fine, more than ready to exploit the IPs and milk them to death, and then move on.
Yep.
So yeah, this is terrible. It's awful.
Very sad.
Yeah, it is.
Before we move on to our topics of the show, I do want to say we only have about 5 questions in our Ask Apes Anything segment. So if you guys want, you got a little bit of time, probably 20, 30 minutes, to go to facebook.com/groups/The Chainsaw Ape Group. If you're already a member, ask away. If you're not a member, join up with us. You can, there's a pinned post at the top. You guys can ask us anything you want to, and we'll answer those questions live at the end of the show. Thanks.
Yep. All right, moving on here.
Can't find the post. It's pinned, so it should be at the top of the page.
So yeah, let's talk about early access.
Let's talk about early access.
Hold on, before we do.
Yeah.
Mr. Carton has an even better plan. Wait, Vinny wants to buy us out. Hey, EA want to make a great deal and we'll sell you all of our Ubisoft for pennies on the dollar. I wonder, I don't think that would be legal, though.
Yeah.
In
Appreciate
one
that,
way or another. Because otherwise, they could just create a separate company themselves and just sell the IPs over to the second company and privately own them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah. Sure, there's some sort of reason why they can't do that. So, yeah, this is your topic.
Yeah. So, early access, it comes in many different forms nowadays. So, if we're talking about Steam Early Access, it gives you the ability to buy a game before it's finished.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of supporting it as it's being developed, and you can get to play an early build of it. It's they did it with Minecraft, and it was very successful for them. I played I actually put probably like 300 hours into Minecraft when it was in alpha.
Really?
And then when it launched, I have never played the game since it launched.
Yeah, me neither.
Excuse me. So yeah, that is a version of early access. And then there's a newer version of early access that's been coming from like EA and Microsoft specifically. So EA does something called EA Access, which is through Origin and Xbox specifically. If you pay a certain amount of money per month or per year, you get early access to newly released games. So, for example, FIFA came out in the US on Tuesday.
Right.
If you were in early access, you got to start playing it on either Thursday or Friday of last week. So it was only a set amount of time. You could only play for like 10 hours or something like that.
But it's
quite a limited.
Right. It's quite literally early access to the finished game.
Yeah. But it may only be a specific mode. So like we were talking about with Battlefield 1, one of those 5, it talked about there were like 5 different stories.
Yep.
One of those 5 stories is going to be available to play on Battlefield 1 when it becomes in early access, which you can play like a week early or something like that. And then there's this recent one that's been coming out with Microsoft. So Gears of War 4 Ultimate Edition pre-order bundle. So Gears of War 4 comes out October 11th. And if you buy the Ultimate Edition, which is $100 instead of $60, the digital Ultimate Edition, you actually get to play the game starting on Friday, October 7th.
But $100 for a digital edition?
Yeah, but it comes with all the DLC.
Okay.
It comes with like the season pass, all that kind of stuff.
All right.
So, and you get to access it 4 days early. They did the same thing with Forza Horizon 3, which came out last Tuesday, or if you pre-ordered, you got to play it last Friday, so 6 days ago. So, I just want to get your thoughts on this. So, I've seen a lot of kind of controversy.
On what?
Well, I've seen a lot of controversy. I know there's like 3 different versions of EA of early access that we're talking about. So we'll divide it into 2 different sections. Okay. One's where you pay a fee to be able to access the game early more than the cost of the game. Right. So that would be like EA Access and the Gears of War. You got to pay, or what Microsoft's doing. You pay more money and you can access it early. So EA Access, of course, EA Access also grants you stuff like access to all the games in their vault, which is kind of like a Netflix style thing where you can just play all their games in the vault. So it's not the only feature that's available. But most people that are getting EA Access, at least from my perception, I don't have any data to back this up, but one of the reasons it interests me at least is because people get access to games early. So you're basically paying a fee to be able to access the game. Yes, there's a bunch of extra stuff that you get beyond that, but to me, that's the biggest selling point is get the game early by paying this additional fee. So we're going to talk about that as one thing. What do you think about that? And then number 2, what do you think about it from the perspective of having an unfinished product out there that you're then charging for to help, can't think of the word right now, but subsidize the cost of development?
No. There's a big problem on that, allegedly. Allegedly subsidized. So as far as the first one, how much, so is this cost that goes towards like buying the game?
Yeah.
All right, so basically my response to that is...
wait. I guess if it's the Gears of War Ultimate Edition or the Forza Early Access, the Microsoft one, you're paying the $100, but
you're not paying just for early access, though.
No, you're not paying for just early access.
So, in my opinion on that, it's basically, if you're going to... Would you pre-order a game? You pre-order a shitload of games.
Yeah, I do.
Then
that's another topic I want to do.
Then you're pretty much already fucking doing it.
For sure.
It's like if you and you don't just pre-order like by putting the $5, like you pay it off.
Yeah.
So if you've already paid for it, you're willing to do that, then fucking that's on you. Like, there's.
So you think it's okay that I get it earlier than people that are waiting for a release date that are not paying the $100?
Oh, is that the fucking controversy? That where this guy gets to play it a couple days early?
Yeah.
No, dude, boo fucking who? Like if you cared that much, you'd fucking pay the money. Oh, I don't have money. Well, fucking take up a paper route if you give a shit that much.
Take up a paper route.
It's not like it's fucking 6 months before.
Yeah. I can say most people disagree with your opinion, but
why? What good reason? Because when?
Because a launch means something to people, like avoiding spoilers, things like that. It's like the same sort of thing, and it's actually kind of it makes sense with your point. And I'm not disagreeing with your point. I actually agree with your point. But when we talk about like Dark Souls came out in Japan like a month earlier or something like that. It was about a month earlier. Dark Souls 3. So, all these people were like, well, this fucking sucks. If I have to avoid spoilers and I have to stay away from the internet and make sure I avoid all these sites. Well, like, if you really want to play it, you can just, like, get a Japanese Xbox account and
Well,
play it early. I know it's not the exact same. I'm just saying there is a way for you to play it early if you want to play it early.
if it means that much to you, yes.
Yes. If it
Now
means
there are
that
varying
much to you.
degrees of how much it means to you, as far as like I sympathize with the whole avoiding spoilers thing.
Yeah.
Sure, but once again, like, there's ways to do that. Don't go on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing. Dude, people have to do that all the fucking time for other things.
Every Sunday night, the 10 weeks Game of Thrones is on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so what? You know, it's really just a non-issue. Like, anybody who feels that fucking just wronged by someone else getting to play the game a matter of days before them.
So, Dirty Raptor
Yeah.
says early access kind of kills the vibe sometimes.
So, I don't know what he's referring to by that, but in regards to the other type of early access,
We're not talking about Steam
I know,
early
but I was going to
access.
say, I get him on that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, for this, it's, if you really care, you can get in there and play it. If not, this is stupid.
I don't necessarily think it's stupid. I get what
It's kind of like people being like, I think it's bullshit that my console exclusive went elsewhere after like 2 years. Like, I feel it's bullshit other people get to play this when I thought I was going to be one of the few of the proud, the PlayStation people. Like, why does it bother you? What does it matter to you?
I mean, I honestly, I get it. But in the same token, like, I bought Forza Horizon. I paid the $100 for the Forza Horizon to get it early. Of course, it came with all the extra stuff that I was really happy about. But I was just talking about how I have to budget for the games that are coming out over the next 2 weeks. Well, I'm budgeting $100 for Gears of War.
Right.
Because I'm getting that version because I want to play it that Friday night. Like, I'm for sure, I mean, I have to work that night, but I for sure am going to be playing it.
Yeah, okay, so how about this? How would the argument of, it's fucked up that midnight releases launch, because I have to work in the morning,
Yeah.
and I can't go to one. Well, you know what? If you really wanted to, you could fucking go drive up to GameStop and sit outside.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah.
You like the rest of us and just ask for that day off.
Or you could VPN from Sweden and have it unlock 8 hours early on Steam. Whatever the case. Let's see. Batman says,
Scroll up.
Oh.
We've actually missed a bunch of
Oh, did
comments,
we?
so I want to hit a couple, and then we'll start talking about Steam Early Access. But just to kind of close out my thoughts on those two particular types, I'm completely fine with them. I think it's an interesting way to get your biggest fans in there as early as possible, so I'm cool with it.
I haven't heard people complaining about it.
Yeah.
So it really, my opinion will vary based on the severity of the butthurt of the person complaining. If they're just like, well, that's kind of lame, then fine. You know what? Sure. I get you.
Pebib says, Master of Orion had an early access period, but the dev used it to gauge interest. They didn't finish the game when the early access didn't do well.
Yeah. They
They
say
say
they'll
they'll keep working on it, but clearly they stopped developing it.
Yeah, that goes more towards option 2 here.
Yeah.
Batman says, most spoilers can be avoided except when people are dicks.
That's true.
Had a guy come in and stream and spoil the game while I was playing. So, yeah, for those sorts of things, like, that's
super fucked up.
That's on you to avoid them. And it sucks. Like, for example, would be this.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 5 came out, and there were people, like, spoiling shit for the ending, right? Which there is a big twist ending, all over the internet. And that was a game that I planned on streaming complete, like, start to finish, right?
Yeah.
Instead, I streamed it at launch for about 2 hours, and then was like, all right, I feel like I'm like living on borrowed time at this point.
Yeah.
And then I didn't stream it at all, and I avoided everything else just like I was before, and I wasn't going to the V board on 4chan because I knew it'd be there, you know. And so yeah, it's games that I really care about. I won't, like, to that degree. I won't really stream them.
Yeah.
Or I'll beat them first, then stream them.
Or I'll even like stop watching trailers. Like, I'm done watching anything related to Final Fantasy 15. Like, don't. I get mad. I got mad when it was like there was a big thing on IGN that popped up, and it was like, Final Fantasy 15 is going to take place over the course of 10 years. That would have been so much cooler for me to see that live in the game experience. Like, oh shit, I'm 10 years older, or they just jumped ahead 5 years in this game. That's amazing. Like, I would have loved to have not had that.
Okay, yeah, let's not talk about trailer spoilers and shit like that. Like,
we're
marketing spoilers, because that's a complete
totally new
separate
beast,
thing,
totally different conversation.
Now,
let's finish this.
Hold on. I would like to also caveat, Batman. I'm not saying like that was your fucking bad, but like when it comes, like, you have to be prepared for that shit to happen.
Yeah.
If there's something that you care about that much. People didn't flip their shit when their view copies are sent out early. Well, that's because there's embargoes on that. But Yeah, I guess. Like, how come Jeff Keighley gets to play this fucking game before me?
People have flipped out on me, not to go too inside baseball, but people have flipped out on me for retailers that sell games early before. So, like, a customer will call and be like, hey, I didn't get, like, I pre-ordered this game. I'm, like, patiently waiting for it to come out, and this particular retailer is selling it, and I want you to give me the game early because of that.
Oh, so they're breaking the street date.
Yeah, somebody is breaking the street date.
Because you used to manage a GameStop, right?
Yeah.
Is that when that was happening?
Yep.
Well, your answer should have been, well, tough fucking shit. I'll see you upon release. Goodbye.
Yeah.
I mean...
No, I don't want to pay that $10,000 fee for a breaking street date. Would No Man's Sky have been a better title if it had gone through early access? I think it would have,
I want to answer
honestly.
this, actually.
I think it would
There's
have.
a lot of things that would have been better. One, their sales wouldn't have been better, but that's a good thing. Because every sale of that game is basically someone getting robbed.
That was another topic I wanted to bring up, and I just didn't think about it.
What, No Man's Sky?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have talked about that.
Yeah.
Because I would also have liked to went back and pulled the clip on, the E3 of last year when I was like, this is going to be shit.
I bet there's some good
It's
YouTube
gonna be
videos
called
out there
Peter
about...
Molyneux.
Oh, wait, actually, we do have a question. I feel like I saw a question that somebody asked. Oh yeah, somebody asked, and we won't answer the question now. We'll wait till Ask Apes Anything. Cricker asks, "What with the legal issues regarding the advertising for No Man's Sky? What other games do you think were falsely advertised?" So we'll talk about it. A bit more.
So yeah, if that was an early access, people would have known. They could have probably gotten refunds for it easier since it's an early access. And the lack of sales, like the more refunds, right? That probably would have incentivized the development staff to maybe push the release date, maybe use some of that early access money and actually give the product that they. I'm phrasing this carefully here. That they advertised.
Yeah.
Because whatever they promise, that doesn't matter, right? I was promised a complete game of Metal Gear Solid, but fuck it, whatever. I didn't get it. They advertised this though, like space battles. That's not in the game. All sorts of shit that's just... And it's still on the Steam page. But we'll get there here in a minute.
Kurt says, I don't like exclusives, so I'm fine with timed exclusives, but they should call them timed exclusives. Fallout 4. I like how mad you would have been if it had been revealed early about Link's aging in Ocarina of Time.
Oh, yeah.
Dude. I mean, granted...
That's a really good example of that.
I would have been like 13 or something. I think I was like 13 or 14 when that game came out. I would have... Probably wouldn't have known about it because I was only reading like Nintendo Power at the time. But yeah, I would have been super pissed. I just gave into early access with Battlerite. No regrets. So yeah, let's talk about the other half of early access real quick, which is like Steam early access or like what Ark Survival Edition or Survival. I think it's Survival.
It doesn't matter. Ark.
Survival of the Fittest, some shit like that. Where they put the game out, or We Happy Few, where they put the game out early. Sorry, I don't mean to bring up bad blood.
Been triggered a little bit.
Triggered. Sorry, guys. I gotta end the stream. I gotta go fart to death. So early access where they release the game in an incomplete form. And I'm talking incomplete, not like how people talk about how No Man's Sky is incomplete. I'm talking about the game. The developers have stated this game is in alpha or beta or whatever.
Here, let's cut the shit here. You're basically paying to get into a beta.
Yeah.
A beta that doesn't end, and a beta that supposedly gets updated, and the only time when the beta ends is when you've already paid for it, and the beta just turns into full release.
Game. Yeah,
that's basically what it is.
Yep.
And yeah, I think that there are good examples and there are bad examples, but I think overall it's not doing well for a lot of things. For any because here's the thing, and this is mostly with Steam, right? So I don't want to hijack the conversation here, but I don't know how much you go on Steam.
That's what I said. With these two conversations, this one and the next slide are lengthy. They're robust.
Yeah. So when this was a new concept,
Survivor Evolved, thank you.
It wasn't too fucking bad, right? Until DayZ hit the market. DayZ is literally what killed it. Because people see an early access game, or maybe even a full release game, come out that's successful. It's kind of a new concept, or it's the same concept, but instead you've thrown in zombies, or with Ark, you throw in dinosaurs, right? And that basically allows people to make a game that technically works, right? Technically, and you could even have it. You could even have in the trailer all this sort of shit that's not there.
Yeah.
But promise that it will be, right? And sell the game early access. People will buy it, realize it sucks. Maybe they'll take the time and go get a refund. Maybe not. But Like, that's kind of iffy at best when it comes to Steam, right? The other thing is, a lot of people will just say, well, it kind of sucks, but I see where it's going, and I'll just wait till it's full release. And that's assuming that it ever goes there.
Yeah.
And that's the fucking problem. It's very hard to differentiate what is a scam and what is not. And not all things that turn out to be scams are intentionally that way either.
For sure.
Here's what the big problem comes down to. There's no accountability for it, right? At any point in time, they could make one update, which is changing the font of a title card, and say, all right, that's been updated, now it's full release. And all that shit that you thought you were holding out for, that they promised and all that, like, it's not gonna be there. Because that's kind of the EULA that you have with it, right? Yeah. Like, nothing defines full release. When they fill out the form on Steam to get on Greenlight, it gets greenlit, they have it up. They don't say, all right, it'll be full release when we add in the Stegosaurus, or we add in what the fuck ever. That's not how it works, right? It's up to them to decide when it's full release. So you're kind of 100% giving faith in these people that they're gonna fucking do it correctly. And with the amount that are out there, right, like for early access, odds are you're gonna get fucked. Unless it's from a very, very reputable, game developer.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And it literally makes me, like, look at, for example, Killing Floor 2. That is in early access, and I have not regretted my purchase of it one fucking time.
I saw it's coming to consoles.
Yeah. Like, that game is fucking wonderful. Had I not purchased that a while back, I would not have given it a shot today. Because I'm like, oh, early access, no thanks.
Yeah.
And lastly, right, my last point on this, if it is for the people who are artists, or developers who really care about the game, it probably also hurts them in that way to a smaller degree too. Because I'll use this as an example: The Forest, right? I got that game on early access about a year ago. Played it a decent bit.
You usually get a lot of early access games thinking about it.
Less these days than I used to. I've become less trusting, especially after We Happy Shit.
That's the big piece of it. What's up, Val?
Yeah, it worked. It wasn't finished. It was bare bones playable. Really cool concept. Now, I think that's actually gone into full release since.
Yeah.
But because I've already played it, even in its unfinished state, I really have no interest to go back and play it. Or that
horror game? What's that horror game? It's like Friday the 13th.
Dead by Daylight.
Yeah. Isn't that early access?
No, but it should be. So yeah,
that's bad. When I'm just like, I think it's early access. It looks early access.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of my stance on that. It's like, so with Kickstarter, right? They have an obligation, otherwise their shit gets pulled, or they have to pay back.
Yeah.
There are certain
I
ways
actually
they can
prefer
do
the
it.
Kickstarter model to the early access model.
Me too. Easy.
Deliver, or I get my money back. In the case of somebody like Pebiv, I don't know if he's going to get his money back with that game. That they don't even know if the people are working on it. So, just my quick thoughts on that is, I'm not a huge fan of it. Just because you are taking such a big risk, but if people want to take that risk, by all means, take that risk. I'm not saying stop early access altogether.
Dude, that's the thing. Like, if people are doing it, like,
it's going to continue. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily good for the industry or the gamer. I know how much you love that term, gamer. Person who plays video games.
Spelled with a Y, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. But I'm fine with it. Whatever. Do what you want to do. I'll play the game when it's finished. Even though I said I put like 300 hours into the Minecraft alpha. But that was like the first one of its kind almost. So,
well, but that's the thing though. Early access is just fine if you get 100% the core mechanics of it working.
Yeah. And
you just add on basically what will be free DLC after that. Killing Floor 2. Ever since the very first early access, right? It works and plays perfectly. Looks great. Sounds great. It's fun as fuck.
Yeah.
The only thing they've added is new classes that you can play as, right? Everything else still works. And that's what Minecraft did. Minecraft was, do you want virtual Legos without the cleanup and stepping on them? Well, here you go. That's there.
Yeah.
And you already had your fill of that, which, at least to most adults, like, that's the draw of it, right? Is the whole building thing.
Yeah. And
none of the story, none of that shit. Like, I know that, like, the younger generation of kids, like, they've really gotten into the whole story, mythos, and all that. Fine, but, yeah. Alright, let's hit some comments real quick.
And then we'll move on.
Yes, here we go.
The second type is what I was talking about with MOO or Moo.
I'm totally okay with it until they decide we don't want to finish this game after all. Yeah,
Right.
and there's really no repercussions for you.
Wasn't DayZ supposed to be done years ago? Probably. I'm not sure.
Which DayZ? The fucking
Kurt says
standalone one. or the
Stomping
mod?
Lands. I think that's the dinosaur game that got pulled from Steam.
Yeah, if there's one particular one, like a game that gets a lot of press for being like intentionally shady, Steam will sometimes reach in, but the sheer volume, you don't see it that often.
Quizzical says, "Hola apes, what up, Quizzical? Good to see you, baby."
And yeah, We Happy Few did suck.
Yeah,
market is saturated. Yep.
Yeah, the market really is. I think that's the biggest piece. Is like, don't oversaturate the market with garbage. So glad I played the demo first. Well, there you go. Early access worked. Well, not for them.
But hey, we didn't.
Kurt says, "Wait, Dead by Daylight isn't EA?"
Nope. As an independent company.
Pebda says, "Good call, Idify. I miss how popular demos used to be. Right? I think paying for a preview game is bullshit. Demo is always the best bet, unless it's Kickstarter." Val says, "No kidding. No kidding. Preach, brother." All right, let's move on. Yay!
Could you get a more low res picture of this fucking dude?
that was the best part about it was how low res it
Really?
was. Yeah, that was
I
my
didn't
favorite
notice it
part.
when I was checking the slides earlier.
I'm like, look at this fucking low res piece of shit. I'm pulling this picture for
It's like
show.
low rent and low res hobby. Look at this garbage.
So, I want to talk about the price of video games. Now, we've talked about this topic probably at nauseum before. But
At nauseum?
at nauseum.
Okay.
We've talked about it at nauseum. Like, I'm nauseated with how much we've talked about
it's
it.
ad nauseum, right?
Sure.
Okay.
So,
so long as you don't take that for granted. What is it? Albeit, you don't.
so
Okay.
we've talked about it aplenty.
Okay, yeah.
Galore.
Yeah, that's fair.
Video game prices. So I think one of the things that bothers me, and the reason I wanted to talk about this, is when people equate time to money. Like, this game is only 10 hours, so it's not worth it.
Oh God, you brought this up so you could try to argue for the order again.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all.
No.
Okay.
The order didn't even cross my mind when I was thinking about this.
We had that same argument.
That's what I'm saying. We've talked about this before.
Okay.
So
Yes,
when
ad
people
nauseam, right.
people equate video game cost to the amount of time that they put in.
Okay.
So personally, I believe that is a very unfair situation to put these video games in. Like saying, well, I only got 10 hours of gameplay out of this, so it's not worth $60. Or this game is worth it because I got 100 hours out of it.
Uh-huh.
So to equate it that way, to me, I think games are better than how much they cost. And it also, like, why is it that video games are the only ones that get that treatment? So this idea that's like, this album only had 6 songs on it, it's not worth $15. Or I went to watch this Pixar movie and it was only 93 minutes long when I paid the same price to see Lord of the Rings and it was 3 hours. Like, it's never an issue. But for video games, the amount of time and money always equate to one another, and it drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah, you don't like it?
I don't like it.
All right, so I think the big difference here between those things is one, the way people buy things now, right? For music, you literally can just buy per song. A lot of people do, right? And with movies, it's the most you're gonna pay probably like at a theater, right? Is $11, unless you go see it in a fucking IMAX
Or
right?
3D movie, or
$60 is it just you feel it more. You know what I mean? Like if I see a shitty movie, or if I buy a movie ticket and don't feel like going, I might just not fucking go because it's $11.
sometimes it costs you $60 to go to a movie. Granted, there's additional layers of the experience added onto it. Of I got some popcorn.
Well, that's like saying,
and
like,
I got
hey,
some hot dogs, and I got some candy.
Right, but
I know, but the experience of going to the movies can cost you upwards of $60. I get it that you're adding additional layer, and you don't add in how much food it costs to play video games.
Let's not pull that into it, because we're talking about just the price of that, right? Of ingesting whatever content it is. So I think that's why I'm not saying it's right. They both shouldn't be. I'm not saying there's not a double standard, because there is, but I'm just saying I think that's why. Like when you get burnt on $60 fucking dollars, or God forbid, I'm looking around at a couple things, hundreds of dollars. Yeah, you really fucking feel it, and that's why people like it's. video games are more literally, not only time-wise, but money-wise, more of an investment rather than they are a simple experience.
They also require more input or investigation. A lot of times, you can be like, hey, let's go to the movies. What should we watch? I don't know what's playing. You go and you look at the list of movies, you watch a couple of trailers, and you go, that 2.5 minutes of that, sure, let's go see that. So you just a lot of times you just kind of go to the movies on a whim. Right. Obviously there's stuff that you're like, oh man, Doctor Strange comes out in early November. Can't wait to go see that. You're going to pay your money to go see that, just like you're going to feel about specific games. But for a video game, especially if you're not sure on it, that's where research comes into play. Sure. That's where you you find the people that you trust in the, the gaming industry, or the websites you trust, or the magazines that you like to read, and you read up and you make an educated decision. And I think that educated decision is what's associated with the money investment. It's if you spent the $60 on a piece of garbage, that's just as much on you as it is whatever. Because you did the research. You saw that this game, if you're I don't think that Recore is going to be a good game, wait for their reviews.
So what are we
That's
talking
where the money investment
comes in. Are we talking about the length to dollar amount, or are we talking what?
What you were talking about is how people will feel screwed over if they spend $60 on a game that sucks. It's a bigger investment, so it feels worse if they lose the $60.
Right.
Where what I'm saying to that is that's on the person. That's not necessarily on the game being $60. That's on the person not doing their best to research the game, investigate to see if it's actually worth it.
Well, dude, that's buying anything. That's
I know, but that's what I'm saying. A video game requires more of an investment prior to before you lay your money down.
You're boiling down in what I said into basically if you buy it and you don't like it, well, that's on you. Yeah. Which it is. I agree 100%.
For sure.
Same way with I went and saw the Blair Witch. Yeah, I knew the reviews were shitty. My wife wanted to go, and it turned out to be one of the worst films I've seen in a decade.
Yeah, but we got a lot of good conversation out of it.
But at what cost? Hold on, let's hit some comments real quick before we move on. We're not moving on, so we still got more on this. But let's see. Nintendo pricing, Legend of Zelda. Oh, yeah. That's something. Yeah. How Nintendo never ever fucking lowers the price of their games either, which is...
I mean, they do. How much did you pay for Tropical Freeze?
$50, I think.
No, you paid $20. Because you were like, oh, I'm so excited.
Well, no, because that's not their flagship. Mario, Zelda, and all that, those rarely go down in price.
They do, though.
Barely, and it takes fucking way too long.
I think the words you said was that they never go down.
Let me rephrase then. They almost never.
It does take them longer than most games.
I don't equate cost at all. Even though $6 can be short, if it's good, I'll most definitely be playing it again. There you go.
It's a larger investment.
Yeah, and I was going to bring up this point because it would be well, Metal Gear Solid 5 came out. Mm-hmm. I don't want to have to cook that night, so I bought pizza, I bought whatever. We did Prep Ape, right? And we ordered pizza or whatever. Yeah. We don't equate that cost into Prep Ape, though.
For sure.
So, yeah, that's the same thing why I just let's keep those separate. That's what Val was bringing up.
Yeah.
Hashtag trust the apes. I think the review companies are letting the players down.
Then that's why I said you got to find the people that you trust.
And Batman says, I felt burned on No Man's Sky since we were actually promised a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep.
Should have watched the stream on Chainsaw Ape. Well, not for No Man's Sky.
Oh, no, we
couldn't help you with that one.
No, we did talk a lot of things. People were like, how are you guys doing with No Man's Sky? And we said we didn't buy it because we're waiting to hear what people think about it first. We're waiting. And then,
well, very infamously, I'm seen as super cynical, right?
You definitely are.
But roll back the tape when we were watching No Man's Sky trailers a long time ago.
Yeah.
From the beginning, I said this is going to be Peter Molyneux shit. It's going to be Spore 2.0. And it fucking was.
And I said,
cynical?
It looks really good.
Realistic?
I'm going to wait and see.
It happened.
It still does look really good. They just let us all down.
I don't like the aesthetic of it, but that's personal choice. Yeah. Idify says, I'm very cautious when I buy a game. I do my homework before I buy any game.
Yeah, gotta do that homework.
It really depends on the price of the game. I'll roll the fucking dice on something $15 or under.
Yeah.
$60, not so much.
For sure. And I think that's what we're talking about, the investment thing. That's what we're talking about, the cost of games. So, we talked a little bit about that. The next thing I want to talk about is, and we've talked about this before, which is the cost of developing games and the cost to purchase games. Mm-hmm. So, I know I've mentioned before that video games are cheaper now than they've ever been. So I brought in I added an extra slide that showed there's a lot of additional things that go into it.
Right.
But considering the amount of people that it would take to develop a game for the Super Nintendo versus the amount of people that it takes to develop a AAA like Super Nintendo game versus a AAA PS4 game, like the development cost is 10 times more. Like the music is not just like
it's actually been going down. It's kind of bubbled and then it's lowering.
You're talking about the cost of development or the cost of the games?
Because a shitload of companies are developing instead of developing their own engines, they're switching over to Unreal and Unity. Things that are and that's getting
I will guarantee you it's still significantly more than it was 20 years ago.
Yes,
25
absolutely.
Years ago. So,
but I'm saying, just as an overall state of the game development's getting optimized to a point where it is getting better. But yes, still way fucking more.
So I brought I grabbed a picture from an old Toys R Us ad.
Yeah, I saw that. And this is something a lot of people don't remember.
Video games back in the day some were more expensive. Some weren't. I mean, they fluctuated like they do now.
Yep.
But like, if you look at that Street Fighter Alpha 2, that was a $70 game. The console, of course, was only $130.
Ironically, it still is.
Madden, of course, came out. Madden 97 came out at $60, which is the same price now. So if you think about in context of like even movie tickets have gone up significantly over the last 25
here's the thing
years.
though, like, what's your point with all this? Like, are people complaining that games are too expensive, or?
Yeah, people are complaining that games are too expensive, and it's more just like hey guys, let's remember, like when you talk about the cost of video games or how expensive video games are, even when I talk about how much money I have to spend on them, like video games are not cheap to make. It's just that please keep in mind. I don't know where you're
seeing that people are complaining about the cost of video games.
The places that I frequent that you do not frequent.
Where?
Like forums, things like GameFAQs, comments on things like IGN.
I'm not saying like you're full of shit. I'm just wondering, like, because I haven't seen this.
Yeah.
And I think that. Okay, do you remember back when games were $50?
Yes.
And then it went to $60. Like, hey, that's keeping up with the times. Like,
absolutely.
That's not unreasonable for a full.
The
AAA
PS2,
title.
Xbox, GameCube generation,
right?
They were all $50, like the cost. And then when they went to the HD generation, they went up to $60. But they're still floating around the 60 range. So, considering that the development cost has gone up dramatically, but the cost of games hasn't gone up dramatically, they supplement the development cost by doing things like DLC now. Like back in the day, depending on the game, they might do an expansion, or even something like Street Fighter Alpha 2. Like that is the equivalent of their expansion. They would just have a Street Fighter 2 game, and then they would go, let's tweak some of the stuff, add a couple of characters. Now here's another $60 game, Super Street Fighter 2. Now Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And now Super Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, etc. So they would do things like that. They've always found creative ways to continue to pay their developers, to have them continue to work on the games, and they continue to make money off of them. They always found little ways to do it. But now we do it with things like DLC, season passes, microtransactions, all these things that people are just like, I miss when games were X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So I think if you
yeah, I missed too back when, there was an entire game, $40 for just Miss Pac-Man. Them's were the fucking days.
Yeah. Can you imagine paying $40 for Miss Pac-Man right now? There's no way we'd pay $40 for Miss Pac-Man. That's a ridiculous price for Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah.
You can get it for like $5 or $10 now on the PlayStation Store. Let's hit a couple of comments and then we'll close out this segment.
Well, yeah, okay. All right, let's see. Batman says, aliens, Colonial
also
Marines.
Also felt burned on Colonial Marines. I stayed away from reviews because I thought no way it could be bad. Oof. That's on you, baby. That's why I like secondhand physical over download. Price eventually comes down to the price I feel is appropriate. For sure.
You can't do secondhand physical, though. Unless, you have to.
I got secondhand physical for you.
What does that mean?
I'm gonna stick my hand in your pangus. 60 to 70 million.
Pangus? All right.
People just need to stop whining about a game's cost. Websites that have old Toys R Us ad. LOL, you see that $7 off coupon? You gotta get that $7 off coupon.
You $7? I'll buy a game if it's on sale for $7 off.
Hell yeah. $15 for Super Nintendo controllers. They're like $60 for controllers now.
So, certain things' prices have oddly fluctuated the opposite way.
Yeah.
Console's
$130 and it comes with Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, that's a fucking
fucking steal.
Yeah. Yeah, but now consoles are way fucking
I'd gladly pay
expensive.
$130 for a brand new Super Nintendo with a brand new copy of Donkey Kong Country.
You don't want one of those yellow Super Nintendos?
Nah, no thanks. I don't want no fucking cigarette stage. We have a team of 3 guys make a game like Pray for the Gods. Makes you wonder what project management's doing, right? Colonial Marines put Timegate out of business. They were Houston-based. NC-17 for Pangus Fisting. Ooh. Yeah, a game that you've been trying to talk me into playing.
Undertale.
Undertale. That was one dude. He did all of it. Did the music, did the writing, did the animation, did everything. So
Well, I think he had like one guy helping with programming, but that's it.
Okay.
Like it's basically like almost a one.
It took him a hot minute to do it, but
Yeah,
he did it, and I'm sure
that was kickstarted too.
He's just making this grill.
Oh yeah.
He's rolling in money right now. Especially like it got like tins and stuff. It's been reviewed very well. Exclamation point ribs.
I don't know. I haven't got any ribs this episode.
No.
I guess that's what a sober prep babe does. You know.
Whoa.
There's no. I mean, for me at least.
I know. I'm
not throwing out those
I just
zingers
made the
that
connection.
get ribs, you
I
know?
just made the connection that you without alcohol means no ribs.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't
What
necessarily. That's not
barbecue?
necessarily true.
A barbecue without alcohol in Texas is no barbecue at all. Damn,
So-
70 bones for Street Fighter Alpha 2.
I'm confused here though. Like, what was your point with this?
I just wanted to make the points that I just made.
It was more just like a public service announcement.
Yeah.
Okay. I see. I thought it was.
Hey guys, don't forget, video games used to cost a lot. So next time you bitch about a game being $60,
Well, that does
remember
not.
things.
But that doesn't cover everything.
It doesn't. No. That's
All right.
why the price of gaming is a
So
very
there are
broad topic.
exceptions to the rule here.
Yeah,
you're
of
saying.
course.
All right, as long as you're
Yeah.
cool to admit that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Then I was expecting to go toe to toe with you on something. Have
Oh, okay.
a good old hearty argument.
Well, we didn't with early access stuff either.
We didn't with any of this.
Oh. You want to talk about politics again? We can get into that.
We weren't necessarily arguing. It was, but yeah, no.
Man.
We need to talk about physical DLC
Man,
again. Is what we need to
Hillary
talk
Clinton
about.
is so much cooler than Donald Trump.
That's fine.
Dang it! I was trying to get you deep.
No, you're not being anywhere near pretentious enough with it to anger me. Where it's like, okay, we get it. You're
Donald
being
Trump,
pretentious.
all he does is lie.
Okay.
Dang it!
See, but
Somebody give me
you
a
have
good...
to be super pretentious.
Somebody give me
about it in order to like annoy me with either one of those points about anything.
Donald Trump loves eating at Kirby Lane Cafe.
No, Kirby Lane, that does piss me off because that's just even talking about it. But
We need to get some beer in DKP's ass so he gets drunk. We need to get DKP. Me and you need to get to a fist fight before this episode's over.
I'm gonna start butt chugging.
Let's
All right, so yeah.
move on, baby.
Oh man, you made me all sad again.
Hashtag Ask Apes Anything. So this is our weekly segment where in our Facebook Chainsaw Ape Facebook group, facebook.com/group/the Chainsaw Ape group. I'm sure one of these kind fellows are going to throw a post in here for us. You can go in and you can ask us some questions, whatever the fuck you want. They used to be like, ask us video game questions, but now it's like, just ask us whatever the fuck you want. Ask us what you want, we'll answer it.
Yeah, I mean, it is anything.
yeah.
Right? $6 in 1990. Oh, well, hold on. We got Trump is literally Hitler. I don't know. He could be.
Appreciate it,
I haven't checked for a mustache. Hillary Clinton's best female candidate for president. All right.
No other female can compare.
I think you've confused people with what you use to trigger me, or attempt to trigger me.
Trick.
Let's see. $60 in 1993 is equal to. Oh, it actually goes up to $100.
Yep.
In 1 cent.
Yep.
Specific, but all right, I can live with that.
So
All
yeah.
right.
Sorry, anything you want to add?
Yeah. If you really want to trigger old DKP, but you can't. This is something that has to
How
be
do I
done.
trigger DKP?
This has to be done. It can't be done intentionally.
Yeah.
There's no way you can. It's kind of like I see what you're doing. No one can
What
on
I'll-
purpose be as pretentious as you might need to be about something
Yeah.
for it to actually get to me. Like, you can't do that shit on purpose. It has to come just natural.
Yeah.
Then I'll get triggered, of course. But yes. All right. Let's see. You guys always mentioning Curry Lane. Been there one time. It seemed all right.
Actually, most people that you and I both know fucking love Kirby Lane.
You're the
Cafe.
only person that I know.
No,
that
you were
agrees
so
with me.
excited when I told you I didn't like Kirby Lane.
Did it? Yeah, I got stoked. I was like, finally. And then when we fucking
We disagree on so much, but our dislike of Kirby Lane.
and we fucking riffed on how pretentious that goddamn menu is for hours, and just that was one of the best. I'd say
best
that's when we
times of my
truly
entire
bonded.
life. That's
After
when we
all-
really became
Yeah.
friends.
Truly. So, all right, what do we got?
All right, so we're you guys can ask us questions and we'll answer them. So we're gonna get right into it because although we started with like 5, you guys have been kicking a lot of ass over the last 45 minutes, and we have like 20 now. First question comes from Paints by Pixel. He says, "What's the weirdest, strangest ass game you've ever played?"
Weirdest, strangest ass game.
I mean, there's probably like Goat Simulator. I thought was super
what the fuck
weird.
was that piece of shit that we played? It's supposed to be like Twin Peaks. We streamed it a little bit. Deadly Premonition.
Oh yeah.
That you were like, oh, I thought you loved this game, and I was like, I can see why you'd say that. It's just a shame this game
that
is
a
so
weird game.
fucking shitty, though.
Goat Simulator is super weird to me. It's like we love bugs in our games. I don't know. I probably played a lot of really weird shit over the times. He also adds, there may have been a few gems, but I think Pony Island takes the cake in recent memory so far for me.
Pony Island.
Dr. Dart asks, if your house ever catches fire, what's the first non-essential thing you would reach for? Not talking about family.
You know what's really weird? I've thought about this.
Oh, dude, I've thought about it so many times. Yeah, so many times.
Okay, I'd probably pick up the laptop.
Okay.
Because I might need that. And then
No, this is non-essential.
I know. Well, yeah.
I would consider the laptop.
Okay.
Maybe not.
There's a small cubby, like a little cubby hole over where like all my really rare games are. Like,
Yeah.
not all of them are really on the shelf.
Yeah.
They're like over there, like sequestered off.
Yeah.
I probably grab those. I might be able to sell those and get like a down payment on another apartment.
Yeah.
And apart from that, like, guess my cock and balls and just be like, let's get out of here, boys.
I would
Leaving the rest of this world behind.
Both of my bookshelves are close to a window in my house, so I would just like grab it at the bottom and just like hurl it through the window using that super like adrenaline strength.
Oh, come on.
You know when you have that adrenaline
that's
strength?
cheating. You're gonna just take...
Yeah, of course. No, it's not cheating. I've thought about this.
I would have loved that answer too. Hey, VKP, come over here. Lift with your knees. We're gonna get this bookshelf.
Mister, I've been thinking about this. This is how I do it. I would absolutely
The house
grab the
is
bottom.
on fire.
Yeah, grab the bottom, push it out. He said non-essential items. I'd get the whole shelf of starting with N64 games and then PS4 games.
You think you'd be able to do that while the house is on fire?
Yes.
All right, well, maybe I just underestimated you.
All
right, fair
open the door, put the kid in
Get on the
Elizabeth's
floor.
hand.
I'd walk the dinosaur.
The dogs, Elizabeth would scream and like so the dogs could chase her out. I'd run in there, grab the shelves, shove them through the window. Dunzo. Yeah. No, don't care about my TVs or computer or any of that stuff. But like a complete N64 collection and like almost 300 PlayStation 4 games, like, and especially a lot of those PlayStation 4 games are from limited run, which they only make like 1,000 of sometimes.
No, I get it.
Like that stuff. Whew. Whew. Next question. Mr. Kurtzen says, if you were a serial killer, who would you target and what would be your signature that you would leave behind?
Let's have some comments before we go on to this one real quick. So we don't miss anything. Worst control system, Deadly Premonition, at least before the remaster. Batman was saying Killer 7, which, yeah, that was fucking weird. Fran Bow. Was that the old, no, I think Laura Bow. Hands down, the weirdest game I ever played was Bad Mojo. You play as a roach. That actually recently
awesome.
got released on Steam. You wouldn't grab your signed copy of that one game. Oh, Roger Clemens MVP baseball. That's up in the what I was talking about. And he throws the bookshelf out. He comes out to see if the stuff is either stolen or broke from the fall.
Oof.
That would be tremendous.
Luckily, it's all on the first floor.
So if you're a serial killer, who would you kill, and what would be your calling card?
Yeah.
You go first.
I mean, I haven't thought about it yet, so.
That's good to know. You know?
It's the first time I've read the question.
All right, who? It would have to be someone like famous, because I can't be like, Kyle Wilkinson. I just made up a name, but like the dude from fucking down the street. You know, it has to be somebody people would know. For one, son of a bitch.
It's your man.
This is a really fucking tough one, man. I'm just thinking like, who do I hate like a lot right now that I see too much of? Yeah, I'm gonna go with the easy one. I'll do the world a favor, Melissa McCarthy.
Cool.
Calling card would probably be I'd probably just take a shit like beside the corpse and just walk. I'd probably jog out happily. That'd be it.
Cool. I
They
would.
called him the shit-holding kid killer.
Who would I serial kill?
Who would I serial kill?
Yeah.
All right.
Benicio del Toro.
What?
I like him all right. He's just got a weird face.
You serious?
And what I would leave behind is an Eggo waffle. My calling card would be frozen Eggo waffles that wouldn't be frozen by the time they find the bodies. No, perhaps a dollop of syrup in like the middle square.
You trying to trigger me? Is that what you're doing? Do you know about that shit?
No.
So I have an older brother and sister, and those giant German fucking waffle maker things, right? Fucking my brother was like, "Hey, sorry man, we ran out of syrup, so we only filled like the middle square with it." And fucking thought that I wouldn't buy it, so I went and ate the whole thing, and it was like having to choke it down. It was dry as fuck. Yeah.
Why would you eat it?
Because I fucking believed him. He's 9 years older than I am. I was like, I don't know, it's probably
That's messed
6
up.
or 7. So yeah, fuck that.
Jay Dig Dig says that's very Stranger Things to me. Hey, want to be there.
Mine would be YouTubers. Mr. Gordon says, don't know if I leave behind, but YouTubers would be a great target. Glad
I like that.
We're out of that list.
RIP headphone users.
Yeah, thanks,
I wonder if you can id someone from their shit.
Not this shit. I put someone else's shit up there just to throw the cops off the trail.
Mr. Curtin asks, a wild doggo starts attacking you. How would you defend yourself?
You go for the eyes. No, that's how you do it.
I'll just
Any other answer is not as good.
With the legal issues regarding false advertising for No Man's Sky, what other games do you think were falsely advertised? That comes from Cricker. Anything that Peter Molyneux's ever done.
Yeah, Spore.
BioShock Infinite. Those are the two I can think of.
Let's see. This is hard to be like. Normally, I'm pretty good about that.
Yeah,
So
you're always
I haven't-
bitching about this kind of thing. So
No, not really.
triggered.
Specifically this.
Triggered. He's triggered.
No, trust me. You're giving me an opportunity to shit on something. I would. That was literally my calling card as a serial killer: shitting on or about or near something, right? God, let me get back to you on them by the time we finish. I'm
Okay.
gonna have to.
We
go
happy
through,
for
like, a
you,
mental
says Dig
list.
Dug.
Yes, that's a fucking tremendous one.
I
Thank
defy.
you.
Go to the Facebook group and ask your question. Love you. Next question. When is the DKP? This is from Onken. He says, when is the DKP DLC coming out? I want to buy the biker and surfer outfit for him.
I'll tell you what. You can actually buy that now. As a matter of fact, I'll dress. Do you want? But hold on. Do you want like a fucking Judas Priest biker, or like actual biker, or do you want like bicyclist? And as far as
I'm a
surfer,
bicyclist.
yeah, I mean, I guess buy me some Spanx. It'd have to be neon, like neon pink and green.
Yeah.
But hey, man, I'll do it for you, baby. I'll do it for Johnny.
Not really answering your question, but the store opens 1 week from today. Hope your wallets are ready.
DKP only has a holiday theme coming.
Morning Shark
believe
asks,
it.
do you gents have any favorite Punch-Out opponents? Can be from any game, the arcade game, Mike Tyson's Mr. Dream, the re-release.
Though I've never beat
Super
him.
Punch-Out, the Wii game.
Mike
Also, what's
Tyson.
your favorite in the series?
Easy.
Always loved Bald Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just had that, like, big knot-looking thing on the top of his head. He kind of looks like my dad if my dad was super buff. You ever seen my dad?
On Facebook, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you've seen him at all his best angles then.
Ooh. It really is a treat to see Mike Tyson, in
Yeah.
8-bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna be I've never beaten him.
I like
but-
Bald Bull.
Bald Bull.
Bald Bull. Kirsten says, I don't have a question, I just want to be loved.
No problem, baby. Pev says the DKP DLC is physical. He has to hang out in your house to get it.
It's true.
Ooh.
Kirsten
By
says,
it.
at Idify.
Hopefully you know what that is.
Kappa. Next question also comes from Mr. Kirsten. He says, would you Mufasa the other host if you found a penny under your pillow every minute?
I found a what? A penny?
A penny under your pillow every minute. Would you Mufasa the other host?
Oh God, no. You know what
What
Mufasing is, right?
No, I don't. I was going to ask.
It's like I come on my hand and I'm like, Also,
that was gross enough without you having.
right.
come on
Very
hand.
similar to when we went to the strip bar at Angry Tomatoes bachelor party,
Mhm.
and
And that
I called
lady
I called it Castor Troy, and right, like,
That
you
lady
know what
put
I'm
her
doing?
lady juice on you.
Yeah, I got Castor Troyed me.
Hi, Aiken.
Like John Travolta.
Next question from Kurt S.
But hold on, no, next question. No, I would not.
No, yeah, I wouldn't.
I would rather wake up and find a used rubber under my pillow every fucking...
That's 60 cents an hour.
Dude,
so
I literally throw pennies in the garbage. Like, that would be like putting trash into my pillow. No.
Mr. Kirsten asks, you get $5,000 every day, but you've got to shoot your wife in the head every morning. After 20 minutes, there's a 99% chance that they'll wake up with no recollection of what happened.
Hold on.
You get $5,000 every day, but you got to shoot your wife in the head every morning. After 20 minutes, there's a 99% chance that they'll wake up fine with no recollection of what happened. No, I wouldn't do it. If you could make that 100% chance, I would consider it, but I wouldn't do it.
I'd talk to VK. I wouldn't do it without her consent. What?
Sorry.
Mr. Well, hold on, but there's also more like, does the blood go away too? Because that's not worth cleaning up fucking brain matter every morning either.
That's true.
I mean, unless I could take her to like a little room with a tarp set up that we have rented. I don't know. There's a lot of intricacies to that one.
Mr. Kirsten asks, do people ever come into the stream and ask you for customer support on EA products? No, they don't.
But Mr. Kirsten says, I meant the Lion King thing. But cum hand works too. But then what did you mean? I thought that's what it was.
What's Mufasa?
Well, that's what I thought the Mufasa was. I've heard that. Like, you know, those old hack jokes like Donkey Punch and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. That's where I've heard that before. That's what I thought it was, like a Cleveland steamer, that sort of shit. Yeah. So if it's something besides that, then I don't know what he's talking about.
It's like where you hold it up.
What, I hold Tommy up to the sun and I guess. I don't see why not. Oh, I mean, I guess no, since I want to avoid pennies plaguing me for the rest of my fucking life.
Right.
Yeah, let's see. In like 50s greaser biker. No, man. I mean, I guess so.
Mr. Kirsten asks, what are your triggers?
I think we've been over this with mine, like...
You've seen them on stream many, many, many times.
Pretentiousness, and that's almost it. Like, I can almost get behind any idea, or at least say, all right, fine, that's your opinion.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
There's well, I'll tell you why. Right?
He'll start bitching about something, and I'll go, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay.
You're almost triggered of me just like doing it jokingly.
Well, okay. There's a reason probably for that. My stepdad used to do that to me.
Stepdad stuff.
I used to be really, I don't know, like when I was like 15 or 16, I'd get really pissed about it. So, anyway, and from like across the house, I could hear him go, boo! And I'd go, shut the fuck up, Joey! Like, I haven't thought about that in a while, but yeah. But like, it's so infuriating. It's so weird that you do it too. Like, you're the only two people I've ever known that do that.
And you hate us both equally.
Yeah. But no, good. So yeah, I guess let me add on to that. With you specifically, when you insinuate that I'm mad about something that I'm not mad about, and then I kind of in my rebuttal sounds like a little bit angry, then you're like, see? Woo! That infuriates me. And I feel like, and I told you this, like, it's a lose-lose situation on that. There's no way.
Or when you like argue something, like argue, and I go, that's fine.
But you don't do that anymore. You used to.
That's fine.
Yeah, you're like, okay. It's like, oh, I just give up on the argument. Okay. It's like, all right, well,
I don't anymore. That's cool.
Fuck you then, man. I was having a good time doing this. All right, there we go.
Oh god. All right. Pepev asks, what is the most money you ever paid for a single game? Was it worth it?
The most money I've ever paid for a single game? Without a doubt, that would be Metal Gear Solid 5.
But it's because you bought like 30 different copies or versions of it.
I would say it's worth it. It's for collector's reasons, and I got that fucking awesome red PS4.
Yeah.
Still in the box. But yeah.
Most I've ever paid for an old game, I paid $100 for Clay Fighter 63 Third Sculptor's Cut for N64.
Yeah.
Most I've ever played for a recent game is the Ultimate Edition of Final Fantasy 15. I paid $270 for that.
So, I guess if we're talking about one game, mine would probably be Action 52. I think I paid about $300 for that. It's still up there on the shelf right now. I can see it.
Yeah.
It looks so beautiful. But yeah. there's your answers. So
Next question. Also from Kurt says, when you told us midstream that you only had 5 questions lined up for Ask the Apes, did you expect it to blow up like this?
no, but I've liked these
No.
questions though.
Yeah. Mr. Kurt, man.
By the way, apparently, Mufasing somebody had nothing to do with something
Did
sexual.
you throw your brother off a
or
cliff
cum.
into a
Yeah.
herd of African cows? Man.
Well, I mean, I like my brother and I hate pennies, so no. Do I go back to the original question? No, we're not. What about you?
No, I wouldn't.
Sure.
Yes, I'm sure.
Is it because you hate pennies, or?
Yeah, it's because I hate pennies.
All right.
Mr. Kurt says, yesterday DKP said, in defense of Bill Cosby, when streaming with J. Dick Dug and VKP, and then never finished. What was Bill Cosby's defense?
That was kind of the punchline.
Uh,
But also, I posited that. So it's a new thing. Like right now, it's. We're talking about a game that took place in the 80s, right? Like in 85.
Okay.
Which would be like negative 35 BC. Which, what the fuck do you mean? I think it's time to kind of update that. It's before Cosby. Before Cosby was out as a rapist.
okay.
That was when like life really started for me, personally.
Gotcha.
I was like, this is too funny. Who could have dreamed something better? The dude, America's Dad, the guy slinging Jello pudding, comes out as a serial rapist. That's terrible.
You can't
Terrible.
write that shit.
But in defense of Cosby, he did provide more comedy, enough like comedic material to last a lifetime. It's the same way that I said the same thing yesterday. You know, say what you will about Hitler, but he did kill Hitler. Am I right?
Oh, you are.
That's
And
a very.
you're right, you're
If
right.
that isn't altruism, I don't know what is.
Kurt says, what's the first thing you're going to do when you go down and do the social? I don't know how to. I don't even
sock
know what
hop? Like an
What's
ice cream
the first
social?
thing you're going to do when you go down and do the social? Do the social. I don't know how to answer that.
Hopefully, hang myself.
We got somebody's typing a comment. As soon as we're done answering this question, hopefully your comment's done, because that'll be the last one. Ida57 asks, JD said she would take a shot in the face for $5,000. What's the lowest price you would take for a shot in the face?
By shot in the face, do you mean like? I don't think you mean being punched in the face.
No, he means mayonnaise. Mayonnaise.
Oh, like take a load in my have someone
take
like
a load in there. Yeah.
blow a load in my
Take
face.
taking a expletive.
It
to
really
the-
depends on who it's from.
to the
To
meat
be
mark.
honest, like it's not going to be less than $5,000.
Let's say it's from me.
Oh, from you? I don't know, $10,000. Because I'd be like, look, let's be honest. You know, like you're doing me a favor here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're not enjoying it either.
So I'm the one that gives you the 10K?
Well, no, but like, what? I'd have to come up to you and be like, hey, look, I'm gonna get $10,000 anonymously donated.
If I'm,
But I need you to.
it all
I need
depends
you
on,
to
like-
come on my face.
it all depends on if people know about it.
Dude, I would have no fucking problem saying, yeah, I took a load in the face for $10,000. No, I didn't eat it. I just simply wiped it away after that.
But
that was it.
you don't have a job.
Well, okay, there's more to it than that. Like, they're not gonna fucking bulletin it out at work.
And like, how do I explain that to my wife?
Baby, we're getting $10,000.
Where do we get this from? I took a load in the face. What was
No, you tell her
What was
beforehand.
his name?
It's like,
Hey,
hey,
baby.
look, we're gonna go on
That's
vacation
what I'm saying. There's
after
there's a
this.
lot of pieces to this. Hey, baby, you know that Disneyland vacation we're taking? We're staying 2 extra days.
Dude, you're just fucking.
We're staying 2 extra days.
You're letting
baby.
pride fuck with you. And
You're getting caught up.
You're letting fucking shame get to you.
How much would you charge to come on DKP's face? I don't know. Let's be honest. DKP
Look.
would pay Major Tom for a
Look,
shot
I'm
to
just
the
saying,
face.
I know a good deal when I see one.
Yeah.
Right?
Man, I don't know. There's a lot of factors in it. Honestly, probably like not much.
It wouldn't take much, you don't think?
No.
How much from me? And I'll have you know, I've had my sperm tested twice, and it was described as top-notch and spectacular.
Is that what your wife says about it?
No, doctors said that.
No. Mother approved.
I'm not kidding.
I'm not kidding.
You know about that.
That's true.
And you'll come in a
Getting
cup
hit by
twice.
friendly fire during
Yeah.
group activities isn't all that bad, says Val.
No. But how much? How much?
I mean, if I'm going to say 10,000, but that's only
There's
'cause I
nothing.
know yours.
There's nothing sexual about it. It's
No,
literally just
there's
like
nothing sexual about taking a wife to the face.
not for $10,000. There's not.
Man, this Ask Apes Anything segment. On
This-
fire.
this-
On fire.
There's a
this
lot of
week.
intricacies to this question.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, and we try to be honest with this shit here.
At
Come on.
least 11,000. Come on. You're right, Wood.
Come on, at least mine's
I'll do-
certifiably great.
It'll take $11,000. It's going to take $10,001.
Because you're better than me, is that what you're saying? You think that Siemens better than me? I don't think so.
Jay Digdug asks, this is the final question of the night. Last night, DKP said he saw the movie The Shallows with Blake Lively and said she had a terrible name, but never said how he liked the movie. What did you think of the movie? She's hot, though, right? Blake Lively? She should play Samus Aran?
I could see that, yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, so I don't know what I expected from the movie, but okay. Here's the thing: I expected the movie to be rooted in a lot more realism than there was.
Okay.
There's one part where there's two parts where like guy swimming, shark jumps up, board drop, the surfboard, and it shoots like 100 feet into the fucking air, or shark jumps up and like midair gets something, tears some guy in half, like it. It had some Sharknado-esque scenes in it that I was like, I wasn't expecting that. It's worth watching, I guess.
But let's go back to Blake Lively. How good did she look in that movie?
Well, not that good. She's all fucked up throughout it. Like 9 times she stepped on coral reefs.
But how about that bikini, though?
She was in a wetsuit most of the movie. And they really did refrain from showing like ass and titty shots. Now, her nice like washboard ab stomach, sure.
Yeah.
But if we're talking like that, like, yeah, no, they were very modest about about it. So,
well, I've decided not to see it. Thank you for your feedback.
well,
You know who's looking good? Ariana Grande, says Idify.
I don't know who that is.
She's a singer. All right, guys, thanks. Nobody gave us credit for me putting a picture of Harambe.
I said it when we started.
I know, but you have, but no one in the chat,
Yeah,
or I missed it.
especially Batman.
If I missed it, apologies. But man, we got a picture of Harambe. Ugh.
DKP should have said they said it was potent. I think that was implied by top notch and spectacular.
Idify says LeMayo. JD said that she'd take one for 5,000.
Well, that's the thing.
No
Like,
offense, JD, but you've probably taken one for way less than that.
probably for free. I mean,
Yeah.
but there's a difference. Like,
that's kind of
okay, here's the thing.
what
That's like
ladies do.
Do they?
VKP. Not your wife. She's different. She's on a different. level.
She's too ladylike, I guess.
Is that what that is?
I guess.
Whatever you could use to make yourself feel better about it.
No, there's a big fucking difference there. That would be like, hey, would you let some woman at the? No, I didn't actually need you.
I was
Sorry.
summoned.
No.
I mean,
let me unsummon you.
on
Okay.
a certain level, perhaps.
I'm going back.
So it'd be like, being Castor Troy at the titty bar.
Yeah.
It's like, how much would you have to pay for that? Not much. But if you're someone who like didn't like pussy, right, or was gay or something, like you might be like a little bit more, right? See the difference there? Like, yeah, big difference. Big difference.
We really earned our adult content like agreement rating for this episode. So thanks, guys.
I usually try to earn it every stream, at least just
Yeah.
by like saying one particularly bad thing.
That's not really my bag. Not to say that I'm opposed to it, but that's not a goal of mine. Is to make sure that I like get through that adult only.
Well, look, if we're putting
I do
up
have a
the-
dirty
if we're putting,
mouth,
if we're
though.
putting if we're putting
clean
up
it
the
up
gate,
with Orbit.
I'll clean it up with calm. How about that?
Cool.
Shit, sanitary as fuck, bro.
Kurt says, I do it for 500, JD. You'll always have higher standards than me. Kappa.
Man,
I'd probably for about 3,000.
Who,
I've learned
you?
so much about Idify.
Oh,
All right, let's
Lowest.
move on to our final segment of the week. Win stuff money. Whoa, we started out with the picture already. We're already uncovering
I
it.
suppose we did. Yes.
All right, guys. Win stuff money. There's a video game box art behind all those little boxes, and the first person to name the title of the game with a $25 Amazon gift card, courtesy of yours truly this week. That's Kipo, not Kappa. Kipo.
Oh, fucking oh,
I'm
jeez.
such a Kappa. Should have got that right. First person to get it right wins a $25 Amazon gift card. So, without further ado, let's go for it.
All right. On keyboard again.
Ooh. It's so revealing.
Is it though?
Oh, Furlong Racing for life. I do it for $60. Pray for those expensive ass games. I hear that.
We just went over this. Yeah. Staying topical. Good job, Val.
What could it be? There's so much going on. Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball.
Yeah, they certainly do have a giant fucking hand mid-cover.
Donkey Kong. Death Stranding. Overwatch. iDefy says Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Well, as it turns out, is he first?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Defy, you have won this week's win. Man,
Did we not do the slide?
we were in a hurry this time.
It's because we were arguing about fucking politics. Hey.
Well, I took a shower and shit. You know, had to
For the first time.
had to
That's-
wash off.
Took a shower and shit.
Had to wash off after, you know,
Yeah.
making a little bit of money like we talked about.
Yeah, it's Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I'm sure you can
Well,
tell
whoops.
back behind it.
All right.
So that's for all the people who've been watching our streams lately. Wanted to give you a little bit of extra
Yeah,
goodness.
and that one's on you too.
Yep.
This week's Win Stuff.
I
Money
feel
is
like I
sponsored
always
by
end up paying
Tommy.
for iDefy's. It just works out that way.
Good.
What? Go ahead.
I didn't really have anything. I wasn't trying to stop myself with something.
Okay.
I was saying, good. He probably
Politics
probably wants
ruins
it that
everything, says Woodles. You're right. Zariella says, oh, dang. Paint says, he Sims.
he sims.
He Sims.
All right.
Good day indeed. First, the good news with DKP coming to SoCal. Hell yeah, baby.
This must have been the best.
Dude,
prep
I'm so
they've ever did.
fucking stoked about that.
And VKP.
Yep, DKP and VKP are coming to PlayStation Experience. I was just like, hey man, the tickets are cheap, and there's Disneyland across the street. He was like, sign my ass up. Disneyland, I'm in.
And you were also like, you want to pay for boarding
Yeah, that's
because
true.
I already booked places, 2 bedrooms. There's just
Yeah.
3 bedrooms sitting there.
Yeah,
I was
we got
like,
an
all
extra
right.
bedroom, and then it'll be nice to just have some extra company.
No,
And J Dig Dug backed out.
for shame. Will you guys be watching Luke Cage?
Hell yeah,
I don't
we'll
know.
be.
I didn't watch Jessica Jones either. I'm extremely particular about like superhero stuff, but I'll give it a shot though.
Morning Shark says I'm a failure as a Nintendo fan.
I
That's
mean,
fair.
it happens.
Too
But-
bad, no flakes.
Apart from that, do we have anything else?
J Dig Dug says, I have to work a Christmas party. DKP and Major Tom are going to share a bed. Hell yeah, we are.
Yeah,
Hell
the
yeah.
wives can sleep in the other one. You know,
And we can watch.
scissor or whatever. I'll make that money. You know what I'm saying? I'll be taking loads like it's Christmas time or something. All right. With no further ado, I have to go drive like 4 hours.
And I have to go watch more episodes of Cheers and eat some Chinese food.
You have fun with that.
Everybody know your name.
And if I says make sure you have room for me in that bed.
Ooh, girl, you already know.
And Jessica Jones is I've heard good things about it. I still have not finished Daredevil though. I'm horrible at
hated
watching stuff.
Jessica Jones.
Really?
13 episodes, I think. 1 episode was good.
Was
The
the first
rest I didn't
episode?
like.
Because
Nope.
I watched the first episode and I thought, I'll come back to this. It's decent. No?
No. Now, granted, it's kind of split. I've seen people say they love it and seen people say they hate it.
Right.
I'm in the hate category. Don't like her as a character. She's kind of a bitch. I don't mean that derogatory. Like, her character, we'll call her an asshole.
Look, if
For
you
clarity's sake.
start backpedaling and go,
Well, you got to backpedal
oh
in
man,
2016.
but I don't mean it like that. You
gotta backpedal
It just
in
makes it look
2016.
worse.
She's an
Just go.
asshole. I don't like her character. She's uninteresting. She's rude. There's another way that you can describe it that combines all of those things together. What's that?
Douche?
We'll call her a douche.
I don't know.
Kilgrave is an interesting villain, but beyond that, he's kind of a creepster, though.
Yeah, he rapes people.
Yeah, he does. That's a good way to describe it, yes.
We went over this on Monday, I believe, or whenever we played Recore last. Like, he just goes around raping people.
Next time on Preparation 8.
Dasabesso, you know?
Did you like Kilgrave? I did, yes. I love David Tennant. But yeah. Anything else?
That is all for me.
I had a good time.
Yes. And,
It was fun. I'm excited about SoCal. Next week's episode is going to be a Mystery Science Theater 3000
or
style
NX.
episode or NX stuff. Those are the two.
One of the two.
Episode 50 is either going to be... It's only in the event that the NX is revealed between now and next Thursday, which I don't see happening. It's possible, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
October 4th is the latest rumor, so...
So we'll see. But yeah, there will be no stream tomorrow either, unless you want to fill my shoes on that one. But it's up to you. Nope. All right.
Nope.
So we'll see you guys on. You'll be back Sunday.
I'll be back Sunday with either Recore or Forza.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen.